What's happening, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate. I'm your host, El Capitan, Chris, and today we have a special guest. For anyone watching here, if you don't know DouglieDoWrong, I have no idea how you're watching this show. I just don't understand how you could go from this leap to that leap. There's just no way it's possible. Doug's been doing this as long as anybody on YouTube, and he was gracious enough to come down and hang out at the Fins tailgate party, the tailgate party that never stops with us hooligans. I have some good stuff about Doug. I have some great questions. I'm going to do a little bit of interview style outside Fins tailgate style. But before we get going, guys, make sure that you're hitting the like button. This show only finds other people when the like button is hit and it travels through the algorithm and finds other people. Also, guys, subscribe to the channel. And if you're not checking out all the great content we have here, we got Talk TMI Tuesdays at 9. Game show coming at you. Color's going to be on there with them. Right after that, you got open mic with Mike on the mic. And then you got Mike again on Saturdays with Drop the Mic. And then also, guys, you can catch Color again on Thursdays with late night color commentary. And then you always have the Fins Tailgate with El Capitan. You can help support the channel with Cash App and Venmo. Soon enough, we'll be taking this to the next level. But with that, guys, I'm going to bring on Doug now. And here he is. What's up, Doug?
What is up, bud? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. You know, living the dream, you know, as they say.
I feel you. Super excited for the season. Got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things to talk about, man.
There certainly is, dude. There's a lot of Dolphins insanity with our owner, with yet another scandal in our buildings. Something we can just kind of bank on every 3 to 4 years. We're going to have the NFL or the federal government inside our building looking at us for something. So one or the other, if not both, it's just good old Dolphins football. But we love the Dolphins, and so we got to ride or die with our team. And you know, there's also the Flores stuff, which a lot has come out about him, the I Am Athlete interview, things like that. But, Doug, before we go, man, I kind of want to do a DouglieDoWrong interview a little bit, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, man.
So more a little bit on Doug. You know, I don't know how well everybody knows you. And I mean, listen, I've been watching Doug. Doug's one of the first people I found, DouglieDoWrong show, the DDW. Guys, make sure you're liking and subscribing. And I was like, I think it was the Ravens game. Like back we had Tannehill, you had like the Ravens graphic. It was all blacked out in the back. It's like from a couple years ago. And I watched it. I was like, this guy's a real Dolphins fan. I could tell because I could see the pain behind the eyes, you know, the real pain of what it takes to be a Dolphins fan forever, you know, and you're just like, we have this overwhelming hope. We're great people. You know, very accepting, very loving people, but we kind of fight each other in the parking lot, don't we?
In the parking lot and on Twitter, apparently, a lot of fighting going on.
Oh man, I'm gonna pull up a tweet from earlier. I tweeted about Preston Williams and how we can, you know, move on from him, and it went viral. It got like, I don't know, 1,200 like comments. It's got like 125,000 impressions, and it's been liked like 500 times or something, retweeted hundreds of times. And I would say it's like 99.6%. It was either who, which is the ultimate insult.
Yeah, of course.
Who is this guy?
Who?
And then it was not only get rid of him, but get rid of Parker. That was most of what everything was. Everybody was on getting rid of Preston Williams. And
it's funny too, because if they moved on from Preston Williams, I wouldn't be upset. I'd be curious if they didn't, is a better way of putting that. If they kept Preston Williams, I'd be like, why? Unless they signed him to like a 1 year $900,000 contract to be like, all right, here's your fourth and final shot to stay healthy all season and show us that you have something. But he was undrafted, so it's not like we're really.
I don't know why we have all this desire to keep him. I understand, because we mentioned this, we're Dolphins fans, so we know exactly how this goes. He leaves, he goes to Cincinnati, or New England. He goes to one of these other teams in the AFC, and everyone's picking him up on their fantasy team. You know what I'm saying? And so, we'll get on that. So, but I wanted to start, Doug, with you. And so I noticed, I went back, did some research, got some stuff, and you said on some of your early videos, which originally your YouTube was vlogging, and you have your bachelor's in media arts and stuff like that. Really into film, really into horror movies. I got some questions about that, but you were in retail.
Yes.
And you made these videos about the dumbest stuff people say in retail. And I thought it was good. I thought it was a good bit. And I kind of wonder now, what's the dumbest stuff outside of that video? Because there's got to be some stuff that's just ridiculous. Not even dumb, but just like, because I've
heard in retail, or that I just heard in general.
Well, I would imagine with the jobs you were talking about. You've seen you've got some war stories, is what I'm saying. There's just no way, bro. People go to Walmart and places like that just to people watch. When you work there, you got to have the best bird's eye view.
I worked my first ever serious job, because I worked with my uncle. He did construction, so I worked with him for a few years. During the summer, I sold Christmas trees. It was all that stuff before you could legally work at the age of 18. You're doing things here and there. I always worked, and it always felt weird to me to not be working. If you tell, I put how many videos out a day.
Oh man.
So my first serious job was at Advanced Auto Parts, and the amount of stupidity that I heard in that place. When you picked up the phone, you say Advanced Auto Parts and Batteries. This is Doug. And I've gotten, do you guys sell batteries? Do you guys sell car parts?
Is this an auto parts place?
I swear to God. I have one guy. This isn't really an insult, but this is more just, I've never heard this before. So I'm tall. Anyone who has met me in person, whether at, last week at
I'm short in
the
case
bar,
you can't
or, wherever. If you've met me in person, I'm 6'5". I'm a tall guy. And this guy needed these rims off of like the storage shelf, which is like the shelf on top of the shelves. And he was like, "Can you get that for me?" And I'm not going in the back getting the ladder. So I just reached up, I grabbed it, I took it down. And this older man said, "Jesus, you're going to put ladders out of business." And I never heard that before. So I was like,
that's a compliment. That's actually a great compliment.
But yeah, and then at Best Buy, I've had people ask me if I worked there. Mind you, I had an earpiece in.
Yeah,
I had my Best Buy shirt.
No, I dress up like this and just throw people off all day. It's kind of my hobby.
I'm a top-notch customer, and they give me this uniform and the earpiece. Like,
nice, dude. I'm on when you guys sign up for the royalty program, you actually get one of these if you buy enough stuff. You guys didn't realize that, but now I get to come in here and just play the part. So,
but yeah, I got some dumb stuff. I also got some really bad insults. I've had people curse at me, yell at me. Human race is a very wide range of people. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I've always worked in mostly like construction. The only type of interaction with public in a lot of ways outside from sales of what I do. I worked at CC's Pizza and when I was young, and man, you ain't watching people eat the way they eat, the ravenousness that comes over people for their $6.99 all you can eat pizza, and then the absolute insults they throw at obviously a bunch of 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds. This is in like the early 2000s, 2002, and we're just a bunch of kids. And yeah, no, I could understand how retail can get it on there. I didn't do too much of it though. I did a lot of construction.
You saved yourself mentally from
I think
the
I did.
anguish.
I think I did. I mean, granted, in the construction world, you got a guy that's kind of a dumbass, knows his job good, but he's an obvious straight up fuck up in life. You know what I'm saying? And when he's yelling at you and throwing nails at you and saying you're an idiot, you're like, dude, you're missing like 4 front teeth. Like, your life obviously didn't take you to the place that you could call me an idiot. You know what I'm saying? And I could probably beat your ass. So probably
it's funny too. One summer I worked at my dad. My dad's a truck driver, and I worked in his warehouse. And I was just making reels because he delivered wire and pipe and all that stuff to buildings that were getting built doing their wiring. And they used to call me college boy because I was only there for the summer.
Oh no, college boy! Nothing more irritating than that, right? Bro.
Like,
I'm smart, assholes. Sorry, I tried to go to school, you jerks.
And they needed to get this truck filled with so this stuff needed to get in there, and they couldn't fit this stuff in there. So I was just standing there looking at it. I said, why don't you take that and that and turn it that way and put it in there? All right, college boy. All right, college boy. And then like a half hour later of them doing it their way, all of a sudden they tried it my way, and some other guy took credit for it. And I was like, I don't care. And I just
you gotta let him have it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sure. You let him have it. I know
you're going to be here in September. You're still going to be working here in September.
Yep.
I'm going back to school, so enjoy it.
Stupid college boy. Like it says with it's stupid. And speaking of college, so you got media arts. You do, editing and film editing, and that kind of. You made a short clip from a production company. What do I have here? From 6 to Midnight. That's your production company, right? That's right? That's good. It's from 6 to. I like that. And I saw that short film you did, From Within, and honestly, it was good.
College.
It was good. I liked it, bro. I got it too. I got what the underlining tone was. The office setting. Killing yourself by killing those around you. I got it. It was a very good clip. I love that there was Manson playing behind it too. I loved that, bro. I loved that.
So that was I forgot what semester that was, but we had to make a short that there was no talking. You used audio to influence what the story's about. So, at first, it's funny. At first, I was a double major in biology and education. I was going to become a high school biology teacher.
Cool.
Dropped the education part, have a minor in biology, and I switched over to media because I was like, this is what I love to do. So I started coming up with something, and we had to be in groups. So all of a sudden, like 5 of my friends were like, we're going to join your group because they were like, if we latch onto this guy, we're going to get A's. So I'm like, whatever, I don't care. Just do what I say. Essentially, I'll direct us. Just do what I say. And I came up with a thing where, we were in a meeting, and one by one, everyone was leaving for whatever reason, and they all started dying. And then at the end, I find out that it was me killing them. So yeah, it was.
It's a good undertone. Because I did a lot of acting. Like I would do summer classes, actually at the Lake Worth Playhouse. I would go there for summers. I was kind of a drama geek, as they say, I loved it, man. I loved drama class. Liked theater, liked all that stuff. It's fun, hard to do. There's a threshold of getting in front of people that, as to do stuff like this too. It's hard. I don't care what they say, Sure. And I think that's what people forget when they watch football. Like, you might have been able to play football, and I played a lot of football too, and I loved playing it. But think of the stage and the pressure on it. It's a lot, man. And so I think we forget, we dehumanize what these guys are really doing at times. But when they suck, they suck. We got to call it out, bro. Like, so you're getting millions of dollars too, buddy. I ain't going to go that easy on you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. If the ball hits you in the hands, man, you got to catch that.
Bro, catch that damn ball. Come on, Preston Williams. You're literally getting slaughtered on Twitter over here. You screwed yourself, buddy. I thought he was going to pop off. Anyhow, so then as you're doing your video logging, you move on, and you I guess you wrote a guy, Sam. Hold on, I got his name right here. Let me read it. Sam Polinsky,
Okay.
and for movie Yellow Scare.
Yep.
And you did some work on Yellow Scare. It looked like you had a blast, bro. It's available on Amazon, guys. So if you guys are looking at for it, you can see it. Doug has a small role in it. I wasn't able to watch it yet, but I did watch some clips on it. That must have been fun, dude. Like to learn all that stuff, man. The angles, because from what I could see of it, it definitely had a lot of good post-production like movement in it. And you actually had a part in playing with a lot of the editing in there. How was that, bro?
Yeah, so that was I think it was a shot from May to August of that year, and I was essentially the lighting and sound guy. I'm essentially helping them all out, and it was a major production. It was a major film. I think it was an hour-and-a-half film.
Won awards.
Yeah, and I vlogged it, so if anyone wants to watch the experience, you can go all the way back on the channel and you can watch some of the vlogs there. But yeah, that's a trilogy. So it was Red Scare, and then that was Yellow Scare, and they're working on Green Scare now. Being that I don't even live in Bayonne anymore, I'm probably not gonna, and I have this. I have no time to do production because it takes up your life. I was up 7 o'clock in the morning. Some days I get home at 9 o'clock at night. It's an all day thing. You shoot and shoot until you get it. So, but you learn a lot, and
because you only have so many days on that site. You know what I'm saying? And only so much. So you need to make sure you get it, because if not, you can't go back and shoot a special day because you missed something. You can't do it.
And if you get it, you do another one, right? Okay, that one was perfect. Let's do another one, just in case I like it different. So yeah, we would be shooting for hours.
Different angles when you're doing the same line and stuff like that. You know, you got to get it because the tone might feel differently from this angle. That's where it's a lot of work, man. It's hard, bro.
It's hard. A lot of work, and it's funny too because in college I wrote scripts and everything, so I have all these scripts saved on my computer. But
I was going to ask you about that next, because you said you're writing scripts and stuff like that. I'm assuming that it's more, I see. Well, just from the within thing and the tone, is it comedy or is it thriller? Because
so in college, I took screenwriting, which was one of my requirements from a major, and we had to write a script. We had to write a full script, and the way that works is for every minute on screen, it's about a page. So if you're writing an hour-and-a-half script, that's 90 pages of your script, and it's hard. It's hard to write it. So he wanted the first half hour. He wanted the first 30 pages of the script. And essentially what we did was we came in with 3 topics or 3 stories that we wanted. And essentially you write it in pitch form. And that's essentially what you send to the studios. You know, you send them your pitch, and if they like it, they'll ask for the script, or they ask for that. And so the one that stuck with me is called The Return. And essentially it's a story about a guy who goes to Mars as an exploration with his team, and you find out that there's something on Mars and it kills his entire team but him. And he comes back to Earth, and when he lands on Earth, there's no one there.
Oh no,
everyone's gone. And the whole you find out why everyone's gone, where they went, and all that stuff. So I think I wrote like the first 45 pages. I didn't finish it, but it's a big production, and there's no way on God's green earth I'd be able to do it. So if I ever were to want to
if you're flying to Mars and stuff, dude. So I love the idea, though. I have a couple, like I said, I liked drama and stuff like that. I haven't really written any scripts or anything like that, but I have a couple of ideas and things like that. But there's a movie you should see, kind of smaller budget, thriller type movie. I don't know if you've seen it. It's an amazing. Hold on, let me find where I wrote it down at. I'll start off with this. Huge Evil Dead fan. Like,
yes,
bro, massive Evil Dead fan. Like, there's only a few people I'll ever be like fanboyed, like jittered in front of. Bruce Campbell's number 1 on that list, bro. Number 1 on that list. Hi, Bruce. You know, and I know a lot of people don't know who Bruce Campbell is and stuff like that. For all you guys that don't, Evil Dead, next level. But there's this movie. It's called Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. It's a B-rated type movie, lower budget thriller. Watch that movie, Doug. You'll be like, bro, it's amazing. For the kind of budgeting for smaller stuff, I'm talking killer script, killer thriller movie. I figured you'd like that, man. Wait till you see that movie and be like, dang, Chris was right. This is a good movie. You know what I'm saying? For the type of what I'm seeing, what you're doing, and like the smaller stuff and things like that. Because I personally, to me, I like that that rough, gritty. Same thing with my music. That's why I like the earlier bands. It sounds like they did it in their garage and stuff.
Yeah.
It's all heart and soul and no overproduction, and you can hear it through there and stuff like that. But next thing we'll move on to is I seen your stuff with Bit Boys.
Okay.
And I got it was hilarious because it reminds me of I'm guessing what the idea was mystery movie theater, right? With video games.
Mm-hmm.
You ever think about doing that again, dude? Because it was hilarious, bro.
So I think the last time we recorded was probably maybe a week or two before the baby was born.
Okay.
So it's probably been about a year, and we're still in talks. We still are they were my best friends. Frank and Sam are my best friends. It's just hard to get a day where they can come here and sit down and record. So the boys aren't gone. The boys aren't dead. They're just in hibernation right now.
Got you.
As soon as we can get together and start, because there's games we want to play. We have to finish Resident Evil. We have to finish a ton of games. We're going to come back. But yeah, it's completely
I can't wait because it's hilarious to me.
Yeah, you get a different Doug, because the Doug on DouglieDoWrong, he's very PG, because I know young kids watch it, but the Doug on Bit Boys.
No, that's the Doug I want to go to the concert with.
I say some things that I probably really shouldn't say.
Listen, I watched the Mega Man episode. Killed me, bro. Killed me, man. I was, as soon as I listened the whole way through, I started watching like a couple of the other ones. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to listen to all because they're hilarious. I know it's essentially what guys do anyhow, except you're all trying to make it a bit. So when there's something trying to move forward, it comes together well. A lot of talent in the room, honestly.
Yeah, and we mesh, because it started with me and Sammy, because I knew we meshed, and I worked with him on Yellow Scare.
Yes,
and then Frank, I was in bands with him forever, so he's another one of my best friends. And then we brought him on because he did the music for the intro. And that first series of Mega Man, we brought him on, we just clicked, and I was like, all right, it's going to be the three of us. And
nice.
It worked.
Nice. As soon as I upgrade this computer, I'm gonna start making some music. I'll send some stuff. Maybe there's something we could figure something out. Maybe there's a little dub over we can get some. But for everybody that watches, Doug and I kind of like a lot of scream type music, so we'll have to figure a way to keep it understandable. But I'm sure we can figure it out, make it fun.
If you go back and watch my intros before, the Circle one, that Frank made that for me. My BitBoy friend, he made that for me, and it's heavier. The Let's Go Dolphins, and then the music, it's heavier. So for the new season, for March, when the new year begins, I'm going to try to get a new intro. So we'll see.
Well, I'm thinking like some vocals and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking like I want to figure out a way to make the Dolphins song, Miami Dolphins. It's such a non-metronome pace, you know what I'm saying? That it's hard to make that into like a hardcore song. I've been trying to figure it out for like 2 years, because I thought, man, they've done it with good rap songs, they've done it with good pop and hip hop songs. They keep the good old faithful, the one they stole from the Houston Texans. Okay, or excuse me, the Houston Oilers. I mean, but it's hard to make it like a hardcore type of song. So but with that, we'll move slower to the Dolphins talk. And you do a show with Big O, and I mean, how awesome is that, dude? Big O in South Florida, as you know, is like allure. Everybody knows Big O. And were you able to meet him at Slatterdy's on Saturday? I didn't know. I didn't catch if you did or not. You did? How'd that go?
Yeah, I made it there. There's a few subscribers there, and he was there with Sean, his tech guy. It was a blast. He went live for a little bit. We did a little quick live stream. It was a drive for me, because I used to live in Bayonne, and Bayonne, I literally can swim across the water and get to New York. Now that I live around Piscataway, it's about a 45-minute drive just to get to Bayonne. It's about a half-hour drive to get to Bayonne to Slattery. So it took me a drive. But it was fun. Yeah, I had a blast. It was great meeting. I always love meeting subscribers. I always love meeting Dolphin fans, whether they know me or not. It's always a blast, and conversation always starts with Dolphins, and we talk about games we've been to and all that stuff. So it was fun.
It's so amazing, because when the Dolphins are the icebreaker, you find out how much alike everybody really is. You know what I'm saying? Like, people all have. We're just trying to live, bro. We're just trying to be regular old regular. And when we can commerce over the pain of being Dolphins fans, the guards are let down, and then everyone has a great conversation. Well, that's awesome and stuff like that with Big O and everything. I when I first saw it, because I started watching Big O when he got back online and stuff, and then he's like, oh, and you and him, but man, that's great content, bro. Big O's big life character and stuff, and you and him, it's pretty awesome, bro.
He has he's very peculiar. He's a unique man.
He is old school rocker, big time old school rock guy. He knows how to get out on that soapbox, though, man. I'll tell you what, he knows when to stay. He digs his heels in, and he's holding tough. He's I've listened to him for a long time, bro, down here, and I've heard how he's talked to some of the people on the radio, like the fans. I mean, just these idiots don't know football. They're stupid. Don't listen to this show, you idiot people. I'm like, geez, Big O, he's on a go off today.
Yeah, if you don't like Big O, you don't like Big O. And there's
he's an acquired. You know what though? He's always comes back with love. I know, as living in South Florida, that's how a lot of Cuban. My old lady's Cuban, so she's gonna throw fire at you sometimes, and then it's I'm sorry, I love you, and we get that. It's how it is.
Yeah, as soon as I saw him, he gave me the biggest hug ever. So yeah, he's awesome.
It's hot down here. You get irritated very easily, so we ain't got time for all that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So let's get on to some Dolphins talk. I got Color sitting in the back. He wanted to actually ask you some stuff, but we'll let him in here in a little bit. And I don't know how long you plan on staying, but in a little while, I was planning on dropping a link, maybe having some people come on. We can actually talk some Dolphin stuff in a little bit. I see there's quite a few people in already. Guys, make sure you're liking the video and subscribing. Have you been seeing some of the videos coming out about Tua working out and stuff? Have you seen the medicine ball and him doing the
I'm happy. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm happy he's doing that. And what I'm rolling my eyes at are people blowing it out of proportion.
Thank you, Tug.
Who cares?
Well,
here's my who cares isn't to, if you're excited for that video, good. Be excited for that video. If you think it's dumb, fine. Whatever. But who cares? Like, let the man. I guarantee he wasn't making those videos. All Tua's doing is golfing right now. Tua doesn't train or anything. I
don't know where people are saying that, because every time I heard it on the show, no one's really. It's always just there's a slight with the golf thing. I'm like, good golf, bro. He's a young man. What are you talking about?
You know how much physical strength it takes to golf, especially with a hip?
It's a competitive sport. They're athletes. Do that, but don't. You know what I don't want to see? I don't want to see
Whataburgers and stuff like that.
Yeah, that or playing tackle football somewhere with no pads on. I don't want to see that. Go golf. I get it. They're athletes. But I think it gets underneath their skin when they hear that stuff, because then these videos come out and it's like opposite ammunition. And I get people that send it to me. Yeah, but Tua this and Tua. And, I make no secret about it. I don't hate Tua. I expect more out of the young man, honestly. And I want to hold him to a high standard, Doug. I think this team, this franchise, this fan base needs to start holding everything to a higher standard. We've slipped down this path of relevance being good enough, not a Super Bowl, playoffs being good enough, or competing. It feels like we've lowered our bar, and that's a bad place to go, man. That's how it starts. That's a slippery slope, bro. That's how you end up looking like the Lions, which I don't think could ever happen to this fan base, by the way. But I'm just trying to hold people accountable, and as Color would say, the vitriol from these people that think that I'm attacking Tua. I'm not attacking Tua. Relax, bro. Relax, dude. I'm just trying to hold him to a standard, because what I see a lot of, it reminds me of Tannehill. And I know you broadcasted the entire Tannehill era. So pretty much, you know what I'm saying? So you've seen how when Adam Gase came in, how the sale was made, how the rebranding took place, and the goalpost got pushed back for all of what we were promised. And I get it. It's only year 3, but they're already doing that in some ways with Tua.
See, the way I see Tua, and it's so funny. I talked about in yesterday's video how the whole video thing. I said, "Who cares?" and yada yada blah blah blah, and everyone brought Joe Burrow up, and I got called the Tua stan. It made me laugh so hard. I get called the Tua stan, and I just laugh about it because in the same breath, I call him inconsistent, and I say that he can make the throws that people want to see him make. He can make them because we've seen it. The problem is it's not consistent. He can throw a pass, 55, 56 yards on a sideline post route or whatever.
Seen
He
him
can
do
make
it.
those throws. He's done it multiple times this year. He has made those throws. Has he done it consistently? No. And that's where I come in. That's my problem with Tua. He has stayed in a pocket as it's collapsed on him on 3rd and 15 and threw a dot to Jalen Waddle for a first down, 16-yard pass. Did the same thing throwing a touchdown between two defenders. Has he done it consistently? No. What boils my skin and what makes me fight back, and then in turn I get called a Tua stan, is when people start making things up. Tua never throws
They
the
start
ball
rewriting history on me.
Tua never throws the ball down the field. Tua never does this. Tua never does that. And I'm like, if you say he doesn't do it as much as you want, yes, I'm with you 100%. When you start saying never, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, he doesn't know the playbook. Do people get hit in the head with a hammer and not remember the offseason where he had his wide receivers with him and was pointing at the playbook, teaching them how to run the plays? Like, so that's when all of a sudden I start coming out and people call me Tua stan because I'm like, listen, if you're going to say things, make sure they're factual. So if you come at me, because my biggest gripe with Tua, inconsistent. And I've said it and I'll continue to say it all year. If Tua does not play at the level we need him to this season, he will not be a Miami Dolphin in 2023. And I'm calling it right now because head coaches hitch themselves to the quarterbacks they draft. So that whole malarkey that Brian Flores wanted Justin Herbert is BS because that you are attached to the quarterback you draft. So if you're going to tell me to my face that Chris Grier and Stephen Ross pressured and persuade Brian Flores to take Tua, then I don't want him to be my head coach if he's that impressionable because it's dumb. So if he does not perform this year and if he does not play at he's gotten better from 2020 to 2021. If he doesn't get better this year, I guarantee they're going to move on. They have 2 first-round picks next year.
Maybe. So, those might get taken away with some.
Do them now, then.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Get rid of them quick. So I mean, listen, I remember seeing him work all offseason. I expect to see those videos coming out here in the next few months. You should see him out there especially when we get the new wide receivers around.
Yeah.
But then, I don't want people to get bogged down. The biggest fear I have, and it is the inconsistencies. It's about a health standpoint with Tua. I hope he gets past that. And listen, I broke my femur and 6 ribs, in a car wreck. And it still hurts sometimes. I'm 36 though. This didn't happen to me in my early 20s. Plus his medical and stuff like that. I think we all anticipated that year 3 would be the year we would see him move efficiently, be efficient, and, hold him to that. But I worry that if I still see kind of nicks in him going out games, like that's gonna be a bad sign, because if this continues with the inconsistencies, especially through the injury, that's a high hurdle to overcome. Because I think the biggest fear is let's know when to hold them and when to fold them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If we don't figure out what to do and have some form of contingency plan in the future after, because it appears to me they're going all in on it. Don't get me wrong, there's still options out there, and some of these things you can bet your butt the Dolphins will be attached to them because we got the money and the picks. So any available quarterbacks on the market will be linked to the Dolphins by their teams for certain, because they want to drive up their asking price. But I can't see where, even injury, anything else, if Tua doesn't show what I need to see. It's not so much analytics, because this is going to be a run scheme. It's going to be a good listen, I like the offensive stuff we're bringing in. I think it's gonna be great. If I don't see the eye of the tiger, though, that's what I need to see. I just need to see the eye of the tiger, Doug, where he's got him back on his heels. I was watching. I posted it on Facebook or something like that, but I was watching Dan Marino, and he would just look. He just had that look in his face where everyone's scared. The offensive coordinator and the head coach on the sidelines, they're like, huh, what do we do? What do we do? This guy he can't stop. And I listen, I don't hold him Dan Marino standards, but I've seen even quarterbacks, not just with their legs, not just with their arm, but just be that guy, a duck on water, as they would say. Just be in your element. I've seen him with it. It's just the consistency. God willing, Mike McDaniel puts together this plan, brother. And I think we all have to have the faith in him.
That's the thing that if you go back and watch my pre-draft 2020, my top 5 prospects, I had Joe Burrow number 1. I had Tua number 2. I had Justin Herbert number 3. And what scared me the most is, can he stay healthy? And I said that from jump. So, everyone can go back and look at my track record. That's what I love about doing YouTube. People want to come out and say, I say this, say that. I got receipts.
Listen, I said the same thing. I said, I can't wait because years from now, I'll have I could go back and look at it. Continue, bud.
But his injuries, that's what worried me. And he is showing why I should be worried about it, because it hasn't been the hip, thank God. But I don't think it'll ever be the hip. I think the way they got him in quick, it was not a Bo Jackson situation at all. They got him in that night, got the surgery done, made sure it was healthy. I don't think he'll ever injure his hip or his ankles ever again because of the way they did the surgery. But it was always something. His wrist, his thumb, his rib. Mm-hmm. Well, the rib is Jesse Davis. And not alone with Jesse Davis, Brian Flores. And I'm going to get flack for that. And the reason why I say Brian Flores is because Jesse Davis played right tackle all year. All year, Jesse Davis played right tackle. And how many games was he bad? All year. Put anyone out there. Literally take a garbage can, put it out there. It would have been better than Jesse Davis.
See, the biggest problem with Jesse Davis is that it was subpar play, and then it was the ball snapped and he didn't move on a couple plays a game, and they were drive killers at times. I agree. I put that on the coach. I also think too, bro, look at the ask that the offensive line coach had. That's why I think they still kept around, because here we're going to give you all new guys. We're going to give you a first-time center, first-time, right guard, first-time left guard in Austin Jackson. We're going to shuffle all these guys around. Poor Liam Eichenberg had 3 different positions last year. I expect to see growth. I know we're going to buy. I expect us to buy 1 or 2 offensive linemen. I'm guessing a starter and probably a great rotation guy, I would imagine. They'd be smart to buy 2 guys and sink the money in, but I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to keep Dieter? Because I feel like Dieter and Tua have a connection. I see how they're very chummy, you know what I'm saying? But, man, an elite center would do so good for us right now, bro. An elite center would kill it.
Yeah, I'm putting some vets on that offensive line. That was the biggest mistake that Flores did, is by getting rid of all the vets that helped the team in 2020 get to 10-6. Bobby McCain, Kyle Van Noy, Ted Karras, Eric Flowers. He got rid of them all, and 2 of them he paid them to be on another team. And Kyle Van Noy and Eric Flowers, he was paying their contract to play for the Patriots and the Washington football team. So if I'm Greer, and if I'm all right, well, let me show that I am competent GM, I'm going out and getting the Bucs center. I'm paying him what he wants to play center for us, and I'm getting a tackle. And then everything else will fall into place. What
about the center from the Bengals? He did pretty good. Isn't he the one that's coming up on market?
I wouldn't be surprised if they brought him back.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Because they need offensive line help just as bad as the Dolphins do. But the thing that hurt the development of these guys that we drafted in Austin Jackson, Liam Eichenberg, Solomon Kinley, Robert Hunt is developing very nicely, though, is not having those vets to help you.
I know, right?
When we got
Jesse
Laramie,
Davis is the guy that's teaching everybody, bro.
look, this
The
is how you
defensive
block, and
tackle.
then you
The
land
defensive
on your
tackle,
face.
Jesse Davis, remind you.
But if you look at Laramie Tunsil, right, we got lucky to get him at 13. You know, we draft him left tackle. He didn't play left tackle. He played left guard in between Mike Pouncey and Albert.
One of the
And
best.
he learned from two of the best in the league. And then look at how he developed. Whereas the guys we have now, it's like looking at the guy to your left and he's looking at you like, what do we do? Like this, you have a center who's never played center before in Dieter, who you're having him call out blitzes and stuff.
Yeah, you got him literally calling the mic and making sure the checks are made down the line. You got Robert Hunt playing guard, which is a much different responsibility because you got to bring communication from either the quarterback to the center. Sometimes the guard takes it from the quarterback to the center to the right tackle. It was a lot of ask. I think that's why they kept Pierre Paul on the team. They're like, listen, bro, we know you took a lot of crap last year. We're gonna keep you around. We're gonna demote you, but
to like fourth.
Who do you think they'll go get then? Who do you think they'll go get? You think Morgan Moses would be a fit around here on right tackle? We need a right tackle, bro.
I'm liking Trent Brown. I like that.
Trent
big
Brown's
body.
33 though, isn't he? 34, gonna be 34.
He's not the guys that we get. I don't expect to be around much longer. I'm bringing in guys to help now and help teach.
Yeah, I guess that's if you got them 2 years, something
we
like that.
also have to remember that. I'll talk about that in the free agent video when I make it. But this isn't the Brian Flores Dolphins, where if you're over the age of 27, you're not getting signed. This is a different Dolphins now, where they might get the best player that fits the scheme the best and that can help us win now. And then Greer might be like, oh, I'm not going to pay you a ton of money. Like the fact that we could potentially have $100 million in cap space has everything to do with Chris Greer.
Oh, yeah.
Forget that.
I love – no, not me. I'm a big-time Chris Greer advocate over here at the Fins Tailgate. Love Chris Greer. I think the guy's a genius. The way he's maneuvered, caps, trades, look at the money we got. I mean, the opportunity to strike for more than relevance in the league is only done because of what Chris Greer has done to write the books from Tannenbaum and Dennis Hickey, all these guys that got their time to shine with the checkbook that said, oh, right away they want to start, earning their keep. And it ruined this franchise, set us back big time. And Chris Greer came in, put in a plan. I thought this was always a third-year plan. You know what I'm saying? It kind of surprised me when Flores didn't come on. But I guess, and here's the thing I made, and I said it first time, and I played the video when they fired him that night. And to me, it looked personal. It was a personal firing from Ross. Ross fired him personally. Something happened. That's what reports are coming out. And then at this point, how mad Flores is and all the other stuff, it still looks kind of personal. So I'm interested to see where it goes. I wish it didn't have Flores in the news wearing the Dolphins hat every time they talk about racism in the NFL. It kind of upsets me as a team that I feel like we've done really good with everything in an organization. And it's not us with that. It's with the cheating or throwing games, which we'll see how that'll work, Doug. That's just it's a shit firestorm. You know what I'm saying?
If Flores can bring proof, physical proof, that he was offered $100,000 a loss, that's big trouble for Stephen Ross. Like potential,
I think there's hard evidence proof, and I think there's a couple of witnesses in the room that are guys. I think exactly the witnesses are the three guys Ross named in that press conference that he had. He came out, he said, along Chris Greer, what's his name? The guy that runs all this stuff.
Garfield.
Garfinkel. Yeah. Garfinkel. And then there was another guy, Sam or something like that. He named this pecking order of guys. And I'm assuming that those are the guys in the room. It seemed like a flare shot up there to the Flores team that, look, we're unified over here. If you think you're going to get these guys to say anything other than, well, I kind of called it. Like right after that, I said, don't be surprised when Ross makes a statement or it comes out that Ross did say that, but he was joking. And even Color clipped that and has it on his channel. So if people wanted to check it out, but I called it like 2 days before, and then Florio came out 2 or 3 days later saying that that's what happened. And so that tells me that he did say it, maybe meant it as a joke, but probably didn't mean it as a joke. That's how serious he was to go along with it. Flores knew the plan. I don't care what he says in that interview that, oh, I don't care who they were putting. I saw it as a chat. Dude, you knew. The whole friggin' world knew we were tanking. They gave you guys that were off of their couches. You know, we knew what we were doing. The fact that you overachieved with it is something to be proud of. But don't act stupid now, bro. You're too smart to act dumb. So we'll see how that shakes out. It's not going to be good if they take some picks away, though, bro.
No. And again, we'll see how it pans out, like you said. But if he comes with that physical proof, because hearsay, I don't think is going to do enough. But if he's like here, like if he has an email or a text or something from Greer, what would you think about the proposal that Stephen Ross gave you? Or would you think,
maybe we can make that movie The Proposal, and we'll have like a yacht. It'll be a whole new type of proposal. Look all weird and stuff. Tom Brady would be on a boat in the distance.
drinking avocado vodka.
Avocado champagne. It's all green and bubbly. Ugh. So, all right. I'm going to bring Mike and color on in just a second. But before I do, guys, make sure you're liking the video, subscribe to the channel. Please make sure to come back for Tonk TMI Tuesdays at 9. Mike on the mic right after that with open mic, and Drop the Mic on Saturdays at 10. We got late night color commentary on Thursdays at 10. And then you guys can always catch the Fins Tailgate, El Capitan, any day of the week, guys. Just keep your eyes out, subscribe, and you'll be able to find El Capitan with Fins Tailgate, Cash App, Venmo, the Fins Tailgate. So I'll bring on Mike first and then color. What's up, guys? Say hey to Doug. What's going on?
What's up, guys?
What up, Doug?
Not much.
How you doing, Doug?
Good.
Man, thank you so much for jumping on, bro. It's a big time. I've been smiling. I had you on the big screen, just been smiling since the beginning. So appreciate you being here.
No problem. I'm having a blast.
I'm gonna jump right in, man. I saw you post a video. How old is your child?
She is going to be 15 months next month.
First child?
Yep.
Yeah, I have 3 daughters, and I have twins that are going to be 3 in April and a 5-year-old. And I'm a stay-at-home dad, so it tickled my heart whenever you showed that video. I was like, oh my gosh, he's living the best life now, man. There ain't nothing better than being a dad, bro.
She beats me up, like punches me in the face, like she's no joke.
So I'm not gonna get into details, but mine have some issues with not really issues, but they're learning more how to function around people, and Audrey will grab a horse, and it's a plastic horse, and it's sturdy, and she'll walk up, and she'll just, it doesn't matter if it's the girls, if it's me, if it's mom, she'll wham,
dog.
Oh my gosh, man, I'm talking like, I had a black eye one day, I didn't want to come on the show, I was like, no, I can't do this, but being a girl dad, there ain't nothing better, man.
No, I love it. Love every minute of it.
Now that Mike said that, I think your daughter and I almost share a birthday. December 11th. I'm December 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife is September 15th.
Hey, I'm the 3rd.
You know whose birthday September 15th is, right?
No.
Dan Marino.
I was about to say, is that Big Dan right there? You know that guy. Yes.
That's true love there, Doug.
That's why I married
That's
her.
big.
That's
big.
true love right there, buddy.
Everything else was secondary. Once I was like, wait, your birthday's September 15th? Oh, we're getting that.
So Doug, first of all, very nice to meet you. Appreciate you coming on the Fins Tailgate tonight, man. Glad to have you. And everybody, I think the link to Doug's channel is in the description, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure you subscribe to this gentleman's channel. It's awesome content.
Yeah,
I just wanted to
get on here and not know.
I just wanted to get right into the meat and potatoes and find out things the chat really wants to know. DouglieDoWrong. So what is it that you did wrong that gave you the moniker of Do Wrong?
Oh, I've got the video, Doug. I've got the video of what you did wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
There's some videos out there, I'm telling you.
Real quick, by the way, that's what I'm all about at Color Commentary. See, I cull through the noise to make sure everybody gets the signal. You know what I mean?
So obviously my name's Doug, and we were all hanging out. This had to have been like 10 years ago. And my friend went to call me ugly. And for some reason, Douglie came out. And I was like, Douglie? And then he started laughing. And I thought of Dudley Do Right. And so I thought, well, Douglie Do. And I'm like, the opposite of right is wrong. Douglie Do Wrong. And that's where that name came from being called ugly from one of my best friends.
So you're not in Florida, right?
No, I'm
Have
in,
you ever lived
North
in
Jersey.
Florida or grew up here or
Nope.
no?
Born and
Never
raised
been
North
to
in
Florida?
Jersey.
Oh, okay. So in that case, just so you know, the big O peculiar, yeah. I mean, that's just normal South Floridian to us. You know what I mean?
That's right.
But
That's
we get
right.
it. You know. Also, do you have a favorite college team? Do you like the Canes, or you go with somebody upstate?
I go with the Canes. Love the U. Great history there. Normally though, what I like to do is like on a Saturday, I wake up before I had a baby because now that's my life.
Nope.
I
You're up
pick up my
anyhow.
phone and I like to watch games that are competitive, but there's an underdog. So if like the 25th ranked is playing the 10th ranked and they're up by 3, I'm watching that game and I'm rooting for the 25th ranked. Like I just like doing that. But if the Canes are on, I'm going to be watching that. And I also used to like Notre Dame. Notre Dame back in the day when I was younger, I wanted to play football there. So yeah, but right now,
I got a signed Rudy.
Didn't
Right
play
here.
nice.
That's pretty cool, right? I bought
And-
that at a charity auction.
And so also, you know, there's a big contention in the fan base, and we all know who's actually in the lead. But so, which is your favorite logo?
Show it to him, Doug. The one on his arm right there.
Okay,
I love
okay.
that one. I don't like
digging it.
this one over
The
my
late
shoulder.
2000s one, right? That's the
I
late
think
2000s.
that looks like toothpaste.
I like that. I like that.
It does look like I'll never not see toothpaste now,
The
bro.
throwback, I like that, but I'd like to go back to like early 2000s.
Yeah,
logo.
like
That's my favorite one.
this one right
Oh, I
here.
love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
me
great.
too.
He's got a
I also
he's
got
meme
my-
mugging.
I also got my Jason Taylor mini helmet over there in the bookcase that's signed. But so what do you think about the Chris Strevler video? Do you think it's a great idea? We brought in a backup quarterback that teaches quarterback mechanics in YouTube videos. You haven't caught the YouTube video?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
awesome,
bro, I'm
awesome.
gonna pull it up for
So,
you right now.
So the
Doug.
first thing when I heard we signed this guy, the first thing I did was look for video on him for some highlights. And the first video I came across was him doing a practice video for speaking in front of the public. And it's literally how to throw a football.
It's greatness, bro.
It's a great.
So I
video.
give credit to Mike McDaniel for another great signing.
I've
that will
seen video
do
of him running over people,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen that video. I don't even think he's going to make the team. If you want my God's honest opinion.
So I honestly think he's a practice squad guy that's gonna.
Yeah.
He's literally
Fair
gonna.
enough,
He's
fair
there
enough.
to simulate Josh Allen. That's who I think we brought him on.
Pretty much.
That's fair enough. And also, as far as the old guys go, I know how it is, man. I tried to explain to a group of carpenters on a job site one time that a square was in fact a rectangle, and that, like, I mean, heads were exploding. You know, it caused a fight for a week.
Oh my God.
It's called a speed square, bro. Speed square, guys. Don't you know? Get with the program. So let's try to get in on the free agency a little bit. I know, Doug, you're going to be dropping. What your next video is going to be the free agency video, or is that what you're looking at?
I want to do it closer to free agency, and I know
Yeah,
free agency starts the 14th, so I'm thinking not next week, maybe the week after that Monday I might drop it. But I have a list. I have a list of. I'll show you the back of it, not to spoil it, but it's real quick.
It's a real list.
I got a list.
I'm gonna screenshot it. No, I'm just, so there's a franchise. I think it was yesterday or today they could start franchising. I don't expect them to franchise anybody, guys. Do you think they're gonna franchise? I don't. If they franchise, and I saw your video, you said if they franchise Gesicki, chances are Gesicki's got a very good argument to say, all right, well, pay me that receiver money then, because that's the franchise.
85% of his snaps were at wide receiver positions.
That's the number you said. And I was like, yeah, it's going to be very hard to argue that. But watch out.
Breaking
You get an
news.
update. You get an update.
No,
And
no.
we're demonetized, just like that. Just like that, we're demonetized. Thanks.
Yeah, it's like a $7.5 million difference between tight end and wide receiver franchise tag. So
Yeah, and I would want that money, bro. You only get so many years in football. I don't see why he wouldn't. Well, do you think they're gonna keep him? I don't think they're gonna keep him. Why would they keep him? Really?
I do think they'll keep him. I think. See, here's the thing, though. With the firing of Brian Flores, he did come out and like the posts and stuff like that. And I don't think we all know, like, it's not even, I don't think, we all know he didn't like Brian Flores.
There's
How
no
many
doubt.
times
You can see it on his face.
and when he scored a touchdown, when he was mic'd up down the sideline, he gave him the ball. He said, "Throw me the ball." And I scored. Like, he knows. Brian Flores was very good at taking our best players off the field for some reason. Jalen
He's
Phillips,
saving them for the
Mike
playoffs we
Gesicki,
don't make.
Mac Hollins. Oh, come off the field at this point. We're going for it on 4th and 3, but come off the field. Just trust me. I know what I'm doing. Wildcat, everybody. We're going to run a wildcat on 4th and 3. 4th and 1, shotgun. Hand the ball off. It's going to work. Trust me. People wonder why he got fired. Anyway. But yeah, I think that the coach that got brought in, and I think the fact that so many tight end coaches, because our offensive coordinator and John Embry, big tight end guys. John Embry, essentially, Kittle is Kittle because of John Embry. I think that entices Gesicki to stay, but it's about the cheddar sometimes. And if he tests that open market, I don't think he comes back to Miami.
No, he's getting 10 to 12 million from any team that wants him if it's not us.
So they need to get it done before he can test the free agent market.
I said this months ago.
I honestly don't mind if Gesicki's not here because I'm really excited about Smythe and Hunter Long.
Mm-hmm.
I think they excel at run blocking, and Hunter Long can catch that ball. So if Gesicki walks and that opens up a little bit more money to spend maybe on the defense and just taking that money that you would have spent on him and put it at Ogba and say, hey, this is what we're willing to offer you. Get him done early and then go to town on free agency. But so I want to ask you a question, Dougley, and then
Hold on a second.
I'm actually going to have to jump off, but this is my last question.
Go ahead, Mike.
I just want to ask you, so with the coaches, the type of coaches we brought in and their focus and their what they excel at, Kohler and I have been talking about this for about a week, is do you think that they did that to not necessarily spend as much money in free agency and coach up what they have, or do you still think they're going to go really hard into free agency?
I think their thought process and the coaches they brought in, because if you notice, the defensive side somewhat stayed the same. And we all saw what Josh Boyer said today. He came out in his interview and said, I was calling the plays all year. We'll never know. But anyway.
I can't wait for the Flores tweet.
Right. No, we didn't.
I mean, first of all, he's the defensive coordinator. You're supposed to call, but did he call every defensive play? Like, there's no way. There's no way he called every defensive play. Not what it.
But I think that keeping the defense intact, I think they're going to focus on offense. And I think bringing in a completely different style on offense with that West Coast. And they didn't run. The 49ers didn't run the RPO as much as the Dolphins did. Dolphins ran the RPO 18%, which is most in the NFL. And I think the 49ers ran at like 4 or 5%. The average was like 9. So the Dolphins ran at like double than they should have. I think you're going to see a different guys being brought in, quicker offensive linemen being able to pull. You saw what they did with Trent Williams when he put him at fullback and had him running towards people.
Dude, that was the craziest pancake I'd ever seen in my life because that dude didn't stand a chance. I didn't care who it was on the other side of the ball. Nobody stood a chance because my dad brought up, well, and he should have been called for a penalty because he had that forward momentum towards the offensive line before the snap. But bro, you're not getting in front of him. That's like having tractor trailer at fullback. Like that was unbelievable.
No, he took out like 2 or 3 guys.
3 guys, yeah.
He was falling as he was doing, and like he just took him out. He was like, screw this, and he just ran into him. So I do think the offensive side you're going to see, but I don't think that they're going to blow all 70 million, 80 million, however much. I think you're going to see maybe 2020 free agency, when we brought in Kyle Van Noy, we brought in Byron Jones, and everyone was like, look at these moves versus 2021 where we're sitting there like, do something.
Yeah, like what are we doing?
Buy somebody, please.
Anybody, please.
Anybody.
And guys,
like, no, we're getting rid of guys and going to pay them to leave.
And that's the thing that drove me nuts in 2021. People were getting signed for as much as we were signing people days later.
Bro, I was so mad we didn't go after Corey Lindsley, and then he ended up in the Pro Bowl. I was like, dude, we need a center. Bring him in.
Him badly, bro. It would have fixed a lot.
And I was like,
higher.
oh god, we could have offered him more money. I was so mad we didn't sign him last year.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
But I gotta go. I got dad duty and quality time with the wifey. But Dougley, dude, it was a pleasure meeting you, man. I hope to see you soon. I'll watch all your videos. Like it's fun, man. I'm just glad you're here. Thanks again, bro.
Later, Mike. Yeah, I said a couple of weeks back, I was like, they should sign, if they're gonna sign Gesicki, sign him early and sign Durham Smythe with them and get the 2-for-1 bargain shopper, and you sign it for the 15 million on the cap for both guys. Work it out. Say, hey, you guys are essentially one player. We're going to pay you like the best tight end in the league for 2.
I
Maybe they can
said
work it out.
when he started playing well that don't pull a Jarvis Landry, and they might be pulling a Jarvis Landry. They waited too long to sign Jarvis, and they ended up trading him. And they might have waited too long to sign Gesicki, and he might just be like, "Let me see what I can get in the open market." And someone, I guarantee you, Chargers are going to pay him like 13 million. Watch.
Chargers want him. Chargers want him bad.
Mhm.
They see the use for him. They'll go 5 wide. They'll have him be the mismatch nightmare in that offense all day long. But I also wonder, with this healthy cap, all of these guys come into this team. A lot of them made lateral moves. Some of them, a little bit up. The college guy coming being an offensive line coach, and the offensive line coach from the Chargers coming over being the offensive coordinator. But a lot of it is it sends the signal to me that these guys are getting ready to have a lot of power. They'll bring their players in. You want to bring a guy you want to pay. You got someone you want to build. This offense is ready to be on the studs for these guys to put their fingerprints all over it. I expect a lot of money to be spent in free agency on the offense. I think they're going to go a little crazy. I don't think it's going to be so much as superstars, maybe a big signing here or there, but I expect hopefully a big signing on the offensive line and a big weapon. But I think it's going to maybe be in a multitude of guys that are like the Durham Smythes of the world, great role player guys that I think they believe they're going to coach up to be great.
Don't be surprised if because a name that I like, and a lot of people when I talk about him go, ugh, why? Is Allen Robinson. A lot of people don't like.
He had a down year, but he's a great
one of those.
People don't like that he kind of gave up last year because of his situation in Chicago and all that stuff. But sometimes
he could be the Tua of wide receivers.
No. No, I've seen Allen Robinson.
Like we know it's there. You know what I mean? We know it's there. We just don't see it. Regularly.
I wonder about if he's got like that attitude type of problem. I don't know him. Like remember when we got Brandon Marshall and we found out about all his off-field issues and stuff like that. I worry about that with some kind of wide receivers that I see with elite talent that sometimes turns it on and off at their will. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder, but I think maybe if they think he can get it out of him, I would love that guy over here.
Yeah. And like I said, he had an off year, and it seems like I don't know what it was. He mentally gave up or something. And that's what I'm hearing, because I talked to a Chicago Bears fan last night, and he was telling me he still can be super productive and he can still be super good. That he might have hurt his value. And that's where I'm like, you might be able to get him for
buy low.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Get him for around 11 mil a year or something like that. That would be nice. I would, I don't know. I wonder, because look, if you look, every offensive line, everybody in position of power with the offense is all offensive line guys. Literally, it's like every coach was an offensive line or a tight ends coach at some point in their career. And I expect to see that super shovel left to right type of zone blocking scheme. Do you think they're going to get a free agent running back, or are we going to top first round draft pick running back? I
think it depends on the price when it comes with the running back, because you have like Melvin Gordon's out there. I'm looking at my list. Raheem Mostert could be a big name. He has the familiarity with Mike McDaniel, Fournette, possibility.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette was the one I keep hearing, and I think would serve well. I wonder if it would send. I don't know. It's kind of like we got all these tight ends last year and didn't see all the 12-man personnel sets like we thought we would. We didn't kind of see what we thought we were going to see. We saw a lot of, I don't know what we saw, man. It was weird. There was no rhyme or reason to the offense at times. It really looked like 3 people were calling the offense, because it looked different from setup to setup. So I don't know. Look, you can see how San Francisco, the way their team runs, but I also think of Sean McVay, because it's the same tree in some ways. When the system gets further down the line, you see those they got 4 wide and they bring double motion inside where the 2 outside wide receivers become the inside wide receivers. And then before they snap the ball, one of them starts taking it off across the end of the field. It's so hard to defend. I mean, I'm hoping they bring in guys off these other teams that have a little bit of knowledge of how that offense works, and then they get everyone young.
Yeah.
So
because, you know, I watched a film breakdown of Mike McDaniel's run offense. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The motions and how he uses the motions, how he takes away half of your defense and makes your other half block, you know, get you blocked into the ground. He took Kittle and he motioned him. So essentially it was single back formation. They were running to the right. And on the right side was Deebo Samuel. And they motioned Kittle into being the linebacker on the fullback on the weak side. And then as he's snapping the ball, Garoppolo, he goes to hand it off to the running back. Kittle starts to motion as if he's going to block towards his left. Deebo comes in on the motion. Kittle comes back in, hooks around, follows Deebo, who gets it, and then blocks in front of him. So essentially, it looks like Kittle is going to block for the running back to his right, but then stops and hooks around.
So he comes back from back weak side to strong side where the running back is, like he's going to step out in front as the lead blocker.
In front of the running back and block, stops, and then goes back to his left and follows Deebo on the crossing and blocks for him. So the whole linebackers and the whole defense shift that way because they see Kittle move.
And the offensive line is moving that way as well.
He as soon as Kittle hits the quarterback, he turns back.
So it effectively shifted the strong side to the weak side.
Well, not only that, but
like on the defense, the whole entire strong side of the defense shifted to the weak side of the field, basically making the strong side of the offense now the weak side. Right in the middle of the play.
The whole left side of the field, butt naked open with Kittle right in front blocking.
And the only guys that are out there to make tackles are safeties and corners. And when you got a guy out in front like Kittle with his size, and then a hard runner with the ball like Deebo, you're asking a lot of your secondary to take the beating. I think, and this is kind of something I made the parallel. It kind of tries to do everything in its power to get bigger men further downfield to beat up the smaller secondary. It forces them to play up. A lot of guys are going smaller and faster because you see how, some of these wide receivers are so freaking fast, but like some of them you just ain't going to be able to catch, like just get over it. Just don't let them catch the football. Do that, make that your plan. But it's, I'm excited. It's going to bring smash mouth football to Florida. And as Color always says, we will utilize that in this, it's so hot. If by God willing, we can get home field advantage in the playoffs, there's certain times of the year where these guys there's no way you could prepare for that. Literally destroy you. So I'm excited to see a more powerized, zone blocking scheme where it's a lateral movement trying to push up field. It's just, are we going to be able to see Tua deliver what it takes in every other way? The inconsistencies when you have so many moving parts, we're going to keep some of these young offensive linemen. It's going to be a lot to teach. That's why I kind of wonder if they're going to bring in a bunch of free agents from all walks of where these guys are being hired from, even if they're middle of the road type of guys, not stars, just to get it to operate. This is a big change difference. Granted, these guys learn pretty much
players that can tell Tua what they need him to do.
That's right, because this is going to be complicated.
Like the players can tell him what they need him to do.
When you got guys going back and forth all over the place because it's a trickery, you want to go, everyone's going right, everyone's going left, everyone's going right. Then now bring them up, put it over their heads. Hopefully, then you get trickery. Now everyone looks like they're going left, but we're actually going back to the other side of the field. And
I'm looking forward to Tua not having to yell at his wide receivers mid-play to get to the other side of the field.
Well, I think Devontae's done for. Like he didn't look very interested, did he? Like how many times was Devontae just not? It just looked like he didn't know the play. Devontae's like the oldest wide receiver in the room, and how do you not know the plays, bro?
It was funny because the year before it was Jakeem Grant. I think it was the Cardinals game. Tua is telling him to get to the other side. You're supposed to line up on the other side. There's plays this year where Tua gets frustrated, throws the ball at the ground because guys aren't lining up properly, guys aren't getting the ball. So it's like he not only is the receivers getting frustrated, but you can see Tua is getting frustrated, especially when penalties happen, especially when certain things happen on drives that are moving down the field, because who gets blamed for those things? It's not the offensive lineman. It's, oh, the drive stalled. Why did the drive stall? Oh, because Tua stalled the drive. Not because there was holding call, a false start call that now instead of being 3rd and 2, it's 3rd and 12. And this is so you can see the frustration in Tua as well when it comes to those certain things. But then on the flip side, you can also see the frustration sometimes on the receivers with what we were talking about before with his inconsistencies of his throws. Because he can make the throws. Why aren't you making the throws? Be more consistent with those. Like, obviously, a quarterback's never going to have 100% completion percentage and a perfect QBR. Like, you're going to miss throws. It happens. But it's like one drive, the guy's playing fantastic, marching down the field, scoring a touchdown like no one's business. And then the next drive, it's 3 and out because he missed a wide open pass. Yeah. So there's a lot of yin and yang when it comes to this team, when it comes to who's the problem. And it's not just one guy. If anyone,
well, it's a team. You said it right there. It is a team.
The Tua wasn't the only problem with the offense last year. Was he a problem? Yes, 100%. But he wasn't the only problem with the offense last year.
That's fair to say.
I can't argue that because we've seen a lot of blunders from, Austin Jackson has 30 of them himself. Out of position, out of line, balls that were there. You know what I'm saying? It's good there. It's good they're sinking all the resources into the offense because that's what they were going to need to do. Go into the defensive side of the ball. I kind of worry about Boyer. I thought Vic Fangio was the guy. I thought it was a better way to build it with an elder statesman in there to handle the defense. Mike McDaniel is going to call. He is going to call offensive plays.
Vic Fangio, but he wants to take the year off because he's still getting paid by Denver. So he's just going to take the year off.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a brilliant move on his part. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame him. But Boyer's got his plate full. Lost Gerald Alexander. I love Madison and Surtain hired. That's amazing. Not only is it an amazing hire for the fan base, there's water in that in that too, with their coaching and between the two of them. I think it's gonna be great, bro. Especially, man. Listen, who knows? We'll see Nick Igbenogany come out there and look like a whole new guy, bro. Be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Then all of a sudden that pick wasn't garbage.
Yeah, no, that's pick's the steal of the draft. All of a sudden, it was worth the wait. He's the Aaron Rodgers of corners. So, I have high hopes, man. I want to temper expectations for Dolphins fans because I'm tired of watching them be hurt. I'm sure come season roll around, I'll be all jacked up on Mountain Dew as well, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to win. We're going to the Super Bowl. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? It seems with every new coach hire, I buy in hook, line, and sinker. And I just don't want to, I'm out here dating with a broken heart. You know what I'm saying? I got to be gentle, so I'm trying to make sure people don't get hurt. I think it really hinges on, I don't want to say it just hinges on Tua, but it's going to, I put more of it on the coaching staff. This is a big change. A lot of new coaches, a lot of new working players. They're going to bring a lot of new guys in. Scheme is changed. I think Tua will do better than people anticipate because I think when it comes, the elite part in Tua that I can see, if I would call something elite, is his ability as the student in a way where he seems to have good ability to recognize defenses and call that. At least that's what I've seen in college mostly, not so much in the NFLs, which I thought I would see more of. But all the other stuff has to catch up. But I think he'll be prepared. But with all these moving parts, new players, I guess that's why you're right. We probably do need 2 offensive linemen to be veterans on there because we're gonna need somebody to relay it from one end to the other and guys to know where it's at.
Yeah, we still need depth. I mean, let's face it, for the same reason that our climate works to our advantage, it can hurt us if we don't have depth in certain areas. I mean,
And it'll help with the stunts because stunts always got us on the defensive line. Like when they threw stunts at us, the offensive line didn't know what to do. So many times I saw Austin Jackson block nobody
Yes.
and then go to block somebody, and then he goes to help Liam Eichenberg and then allows a free rush up the middle into his face. And you want the deep balls being thrown, you kind of have to take that step forward, or you can. So many times I saw defensive lineman falling at his legs, his own offensive lineman. So many times I even drew a friggin' tombstone over Jesse Davis because of how many times I saw that man laying on the ground. And then the times that the plays did work is when they kept 7 in to block 4. And then people want to say, see, the offensive line is doing good. That's not how that works. That's
No.
not how it works at all. So once we can have 5-on-4 and we're winning and Tua gets more than a second and a half to throw it, then we see who we have.
Yeah, the biggest pet peeve that I saw a lot is when offensive linemen get tangled up with each other.
Yeah.
That's terrible practicing. I don't know. And granted, again, there was a lot of shuffling. Liam Eichenberg went from one side to the other all year. Towards the end of the year when they got consistent and they were all playing in the same, you saw consistency, but it's like they tweaked things in season. Flores, I don't know how much he had in on the offensive side because we've seen how much he centric everything for offense. Don't screw it up. Defense will put you in position. Then we'll put together a drive and do something. Because it seemed at times they'd have the perfect drive schemed, drive right down the field, come back the next series doing nothing that worked from the series before. Why did this happen? Let's do nothing that worked before. Now I understand.
Yeah, that's the stuff I don't get either. Because you look at a great coach like Bill Belichick, and I think he may even be on record one time as saying this. I could be wrong, but if they run a play and it works for 7 yards, he'll literally run that same play until the defense stops it. Who cares if we just ran it before?
If the run up the gut gets me 4 yards, and I run it up the gut again and it gets me 4 yards, I'm going to continue to do that.
Yeah, because at some point it just comes down to your guys are beating their guys. And if they can beat their guys, you can literally run the same play over and over again. And these situations where you run a play and it gets busted for some reason, like a stupid little mistake, Belichick will run that same play again because there was no reason it shouldn't have worked before, save for that stupid little mistake. Somebody, hit the wrong spot in the turf and got tripped up or something. You know what I mean? This is the whole thing about football that people fail to realize. It's really not that hard. You know what I mean? It's just you stick with what works until
it's hard. They're
not
complicating it plenty in some ways, but I don't know. The one thing I don't like is the narrative that comes out in the rumors that Flores sabotaged things.
No.
I don't see how a guy could not
stupid. Yeah,
not lose, but have the same kind to lose on purpose.
That comes from the same group that think that he didn't want Tua. So they think that Tua was pushed on him. So they think that he is sabotaging Tua to get Tua. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Doug, you remember he was there in Alabama for what seemed like forever, chumming it up, ha ha ha, right? Breaking COVID protocol and everything, to go and meet. I don't know if it was COVID back then. I couldn't remember. But the Dolphins, Chris Greer, Brian Flores, they were in Alabama all the time. And that's why, and at the time when they drafted him and they said they didn't do any post drills watching him, remember, I forget what it was. They didn't look at the post-surgery stuff or something like that. And I was like, they don't need to. Don't you guys know they're literally talk to everyone and anyone in that circle. I think they found out about the push for Burrow though, and weren't too thrilled about that. And I don't know, maybe that was Flores's push. Give me Burrow, give me Burrow, give me Burrow, and they went and tried to do it. Maybe that happened because it did seem like there was some kind of disconnect in there at times from coach to player, but also that might be just character that is Flores too. And in some ways, that was what we needed at that time, but the year we had him in, I don't know. It's kind of a dead subject in some ways.
I don't think he should have played in 2020. I'm on record for saying that.
There's no doubt about that. I think we were all excited to see it, especially because it seems like high flying ability.
Yeah, I think most are in agreement on that. Where the disagreement lies in the community is who's to blame for that decision. And so I won't go that far because that starts getting into all the conspiracy theory and all that. But
that's
what I mean. That's really
day.
what it's about, is who made that decision. Something I also say with Jesse Davis, Dougley, and I absolutely understand where you're coming from on Jesse Davis. I'm not a defender of the guy. What I'm trying to say is that, there's a lot of decisions that come down from upstairs, and people think that the coach has as much player personnel decision as we think they do. And yes, that's true to an extent, but we also have to realize that that there is a big precedent for teams throughout history of playing a guy because they don't want money sitting on the bench.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So that's another thing that we have to also take into consideration, that at the very least we can say we don't know. Same with the Tua decision. We don't know if somebody upstairs was saying, look, I don't care how bad he is, coach him up, but you're not putting $4 million on the bench. Now, if it's a failure of Coach Flores to coach him up, then we can all agree on that and move on. Oil and water, you know what I mean? But this idea that, somebody would, it's Hanlon's razor. You don't ascribe malice to that which could be explained by incompetence. And to say that somebody wanted somebody to get hurt and all that, and I mean, that's just as nonsense as anything else. But there's, to make, as a person who likes to formulate my opinions based on the least number of assumptions, I would say it's every bit as likely that somebody upstairs said you're not putting $4 million on the bench when it comes to Jesse Davis. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he also he's in the position to face every single team's best pass rusher, and he could actually be a just below average, maybe average lineman on some other team.
That's a reach,
on the
buddy.
other side of the ball.
I gotta agree with you. I gotta disagree with you there, Color. It's kind of a reach,
look,
bro.
Look, I know I'm not trying to go that far. What I'm trying to say is that you need all pro level at that spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
And to have somebody that's actually below average there.
Well, I kind of go back to what I said about Chris Greer. And guys, real quick, I'm going to be dropping the link here in just a second. Guys, make sure you're liking and subscribing to the channel, everything like that. I'm going to drop the link here in just a second.
By the way, Chris, real quick, below average can work on other teams. Isaiah Prince has proven that. I'm just pointing out.
Yeah, got me there. I can't argue that.
I wouldn't say Isaiah Prince works.
Sufficient in that whatever role he is in there. Right.
It was a tall ask for Jesse Davis to perform the converted defensive tackle, but back to what I was saying, I kind of can't give Chris Greer all the credit in the world for getting all this great cap space and want players to be there. I think this was kind of part of the plan. Did I think it was dumb? They should have just sat 2-0 this whole time. You know what I'm saying? Something, just let them be protected or something. I think they kind of.
Chris, that goes right along with the Jesse Davis argument. If they're saying you're not gonna put $4 million on the bench, then don't put your prospect quarterback out there. You know what I mean? At the same time, let him finish out his year left. And
I think the ultimate getting screwed over was starting him the year he should have rested. And they could have
one of the best defenses in Aaron Donald.
Exactly. I mean, listen, it worked out okay, but it was just, now everybody wants more. We all could have agreed, hey, obviously the plan was they were probably going to start him after the bye week. The bye week got moved from week 10 up. Then they started it anyhow. I think they should have just said, no, let's stick to week 10 rather than moving it. I think the owner made that call. Speculation. Don't know. He wouldn't tell me anyhow. I keep calling Mr. Ross. Answer the phone, please.
Yeah, we do a lot of that type of thing after 10 o'clock here at the Fins Tailgate, Dougley. Lots of speculation.
It's conspiracy city at times, bro. Like I'll whip out the diagram. We'll get the board
parental
out,
discretion is advised.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring in my boy Tonk from TMI right now too. He wants to say what's up. What's going on, Tonk?
What's up, guys? How you doing? What's up, Chris?
What's going on, buddy?
So I just had a couple questions for our special guest tonight, Dougley Do Right, or Do Wrong.
Do right.
Well, he's trying to do right now. But
yeah. Do right by us. So so the new Dolphins head coach, Mike McDaniel. I don't know if you guys already asked this question. I've been watching on and off, but I haven't seen this question get answered. Which quarterback do you think will best serve under his type of offense?
Outside of Tua, you mean? If like we were gonna
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I'm looking at we got Tua, we got Jacoby Brissett, and we got Chris Tribler.
They're gonna start Tua, but what are you saying? Like in comparison?
Well, I'm just saying, like, yeah, like
style?
what do you think? Like let's say Tua isn't doing that well.
Oh no, they're not gonna ever take out Tua. Tonk. That's not gonna happen. They're gonna bring unless they trade for a different quarterback. That's not gonna happen. That may happen, but I don't think so. It's been pretty obvious Tua is. But if we're gonna make a comparison for a stylistic type of quarterback, I would say, I don't know, Doug. What do you think for stylistic? If it was an optimum quarterback already in the NFL to be placed in this system,
or the ones that we have right now,
nobody else is starting. It's only gonna be Tua.
And in all honesty,
yeah, but I'm just saying hypothetically. I'm not saying they're gonna bench Tua.
So with the West Coast style offense, with a lot of motion, a lot of quick passes, a lot of slants and stuff, Tua actually fits that offense really well. Jacoby Brissett's going to be a free agent, and if that man's still on this team, I'm going to cut my
as a run pass offense.
What happened?
Like as a RPO offense.
Well, he doesn't necessarily need to run an RPO, and I'd like to see him not be put in an RPO because, let him learn from a different style of offense. Don't give him that style of offense, especially if you have these guys with, Bevel and all them that can help him learn more. But I think out of who we have on the team right now, he's the best at it because he is very accurate at getting those quick slant passes out, especially in this West Coast style motion. But out there's so many different quarterbacks out there in the NFL that could help that.
And he came from the 49ers, Mike McDaniel.
Yeah. He came from the 49ers. He
Here, give me 1 second. The baby got up. Give me 1 second.
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
What is
drop you back.
you guys can answer this. What does franchise tag mean?
Oh, okay. So franchise tag is essentially when you're so you don't want to pay the player, right? But you don't want to let him go. When you pay a player, especially in premium positions like I don't know, wide receiver, cornerback, pass rusher, those type of premium positions, you want to give them one more year to prove themselves. So they take, I think it's the top 5 or top 3 guys in their position that are paid, and they come to a round number of what the average is. So like if you're a pass rusher, like an edge rusher, and you got franchise tagged as an edge rusher, you would take, Von Miller and I don't know, whoever else is top 2 guys in that position, and they come to an average to pay you. So you get like 18, 19 million a year or something like that. If you franchise tag a quarterback, because quarterbacks are so expensive, like a franchise tag on a quarterback's like 39 million now. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well sign the quarterback rather than franchising him. It all depends on position. We were talking about franchising earlier because if we franchise tag Mike Gesicki, he's a tight end, but he makes all his snaps at wide receiver, like 85%, I think Doug said. So there's a chance that if we franchise tag him, he's going, okay, well, I want the wide receiver franchise tag, which is basically like $18 million, where the tight end franchise tag is only like 11. You know what I'm saying? He's going to want that money. You franchise that, you going to pay me? I want the big ducats. So that's what.
So it's like kind of like meeting in the middle.
No, there's no meeting in the middle. It's what they say.
Well, you're saying like the average of what other.
No. So like you take the top 3 paid wide receivers, not the average, the top 3 paid. So if they're all making $100 million contracts and getting whatever it is, they take the average of that number. So you're basically going to pay him for 1 year, like top 5 money. No matter what you do, you're going to pay him top 5 money that 1 year. And we've franchise tagged plenty of people in the past. Paul Soliai, we franchise tag.
So does that mean you can't get traded or you can't leave?
Yes, that's it. They're on that for 1 more year, signed, done. There's also what's known as a transition tag. And so you tag them with a different, it's a little bit less, but people can still bid on that guy. And you put like a depending on how much money you pay them, it's like you could transition tag them with a first round tender. So if someone offers a first round pick and wants to pay him the amount you're paying him or more in a contract, they can buy him off you. You know what I'm saying? So you're signing him to a different tender. There's a lot of moving parts for the contract signing. So anything I miss color in that? Did I miss anything? I don't think so. I think I got it. Yeah, I think I got it all on there. Yeah. Guys, if you don't want to jump in, I see Drubitron, Cap for Life, Todd's in there, Wicked's in there. I'll be bringing you guys up when Doug comes back in and settles in. If you guys don't want to hop in, you can get your questions in. I'll Color and I will keep a lookout and we'll try to get them in and stuff like that. And I'll rotate people in so we're not all talking at once on Doug and stuff like that. He's going to hang out for a little while longer, I'm sure. And as long as he can hang, as long as we'll, keep the show going. If you guys haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, please do. And please also, guys, make sure to check out all the great programs we have. We have Tonk TMI Tuesdays at 9. Right after that, we got Open Mic with Mike on the mic. And on Tuesdays at 10. And then Drop the Mic on Tuesdays at 10. And then, or Saturdays at 10. Thursdays, we have late night color commentary, if it'll come up. There it is. Late night color commentaries at 10. Guys, come here and check out color. And then also, you have the Fins Tailgate all day, every day, any day, sometimes, all the times. I don't know. Just keep your eyes out for El Capitan. Is going to drop an episode on you. The Fins Tailgate, Cash App, Fins Tailgate, Venmo. Any help to support the channel is appreciated. And that is it, guys. And there we go.
Killing it with the graphics.
Yeah, not so bad. I'm going to start bringing some folks on. Drubitron, what's up, my man?
All right, I'm out of here.
Later,
Tom. Easy, Tonk. What's up, Drub?
How's it going?
Nothing, man.
There we go. That's a little better.
There you go, bud. So, and then I got Cap for Life. What's going on, Cap?
Drubitron, real quick. Hey, Cap, how's it going? Real quick, Drubitron, explain to me the details again involved with a medianoche.
Oh, the medianoche?
Yeah.
What do you want to know? Like, what's in it?
How it's made.
Oh, it's this sweet bread with pork, like roasted pork, and then like sliced ham with the white cheese,
pickle,
right?
There's a pickle up in there. I think they get some mayo in there too.
Yeah. Mayo, yeah, hell yeah.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah, I found it on the menu. I found it on the menu over at Havana's. So
Havana's?
I'm gonna definitely try it out.
I promise.
If you want to get crazy, you could put the sauteed onions with the potato chips inside of it.
Don't defile the medianoche, Cap. Don't do that.
If you want to get crazy, I'm just saying.
If it's a wild night,
yeah. And you got to put it on the press. The bread got to be on the press.
Yeah, they always press it, but don't forget the croquetas either.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Was it pressed? I didn't remember if you were saying that one was pressed.
Yeah, it's pressed. It's hot. Okay.
Yeah, don't try putting it in the oven. Don't try to half-back it. Yeah.
Getting at Havana's place over there on Dixie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the place that used to be connected to it back when it was smaller? It was a Japanese sushi joint that used to be there, and they had it's the whole place now. Last time I saw it, but it used to be the small little corner just where the window was. That's what it used to be.
Yeah.
But it used to be a Japanese steakhouse that was right there, and they had these tanks, and you can get sushi, and they would get it right out of the tank right there, man.
Really?
Yeah, bro. First time, bro. I don't know. Sometime in the early 90s. First time I ever ate sushi. I was probably about 9 years old. I was there with my my dad and my dad's friend who lived in the neighborhood. We were getting sushi. It was awesome.
I tell you what they don't have, though.
What?
They don't have fan gear.
Oh, you know what? They don't, guys. You're right.
But you know who does?
Who? I have
Fanatics.com.
What?
They got all the Fanatics.com. They got all the
sports apparel
you need, featuring jerseys, t-shirts, hats, collectibles, merchandise for the fans of NFL, NCAA, MLB, NBA, NHL, NASCAR, soccer, golf, and Tua jerseys.
I'm going right now.
The link is in the description.
Gotta
below.
get it, guys. Got it all. Everybody hit the link in the description, guys. Make sure. Also,
we
Doug's
all already shop there. You know,
we're already getting the stuff. Just buy it on the link, guys.
it don't cost you no extra money to use the link below.
No, it doesn't. I'm gonna bring Todd in here as well. What's going on, Todd?
Man, I hate y'all. Right.
Todd!
All right, that's a good way to start it.
I haven't been to that place since I lived in West Palm 9 years ago over there on Dixie.
It's been a few years for me too, Todd.
Oh,
My
everybody
first
loves
time-
Havanas.
hey,
Oh, by the way,
my
the great
first
thing
time
about
going
Havanas
there-
is you can get a medianoche at midnight, if I'm not mistaken.
I used to go
Okay.
get my morning Cuban coffee, come back in the afternoon, have lunch. Man,
Where is this?
You got me reminiscing now.
On Dixie in West Palm.
yep,
Dixie and Forest Hill.
dude, that place used to be.
I used to live on Forest Hill and Kurt.
Place used to
Yeah.
be so small on the corner. Now that last time I saw it, it was so expanded. I was like, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's a pretty good.
Well, yeah,
sized
then they
building.
add the
Todd,
second-
you right. Todd, you might remember the Japanese sushi
Yes.
place that was there.
Yes, I do.
So
Do they
you
have
do.
inside dining now? That building's pretty big now.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
Oh
open
yeah,
now.
for sure.
Oh yeah,
I
They
took
added
my
a
lady
second
and
story and
there last
everything.
time I was on that
Yeah.
side. I was like, "You guys got to come eat here,"
Dude.
and I was like,
Yeah, you
"Whoa,
used to
look
have
at this
people
joint."
standing out in Dixie waiting at
talk
that
about
line.
authentic Cuban food.
They
though,
still
man. That
do,
stuff-
bro. What are you talking about? You can go there right now. There's people
People
standing
be
in a
eating their
line.
sandwich in the middle of the road. Like, nowhere
They'll
else
get-
to sit. Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know.
dude.
Who cares? I just want that sandwich. I'll stand in this line right now. I know it's
Oh.
175,000 degrees outside, but I'm eating that sandwich.
I tell you what, I do Lyft for a living. If I get a ride going down to West Palm, I'm bringing food back from there for a while.
You know where you got to go? You got to go to Colombino's.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's up the road on That's Forest Hill and Military, right?
Colombino's.
Check out West Palm.
Bro. Colombino's.
Dude, West Palm is the bomb.
Fire. Well, I don't know about West Palm being the bomb. It's got
I like
bombing
City
in it.
Place. I grew up going to Clematis Street and causing trouble.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, no, I love that place. I'm gonna start bringing in some of the other people. I got CT in the back. What's going on, CT? What's up, buddy?
What's going on? And y'all got to stop talking about food, man, because
Right?
me and Cap were talking about it the other night on the phone, man. Off the university in Pines Boulevard, man, that Cuban place with the pastelitos, bro, and the guavi queso and the ham croquettes, bro.
Listen, I love Cuban food so much. My wife's Cuban. What are you talking about, bro? I get it
Yeah.
all the time. I love it.
No, I
Ironically, that
know,
place
but
is
you
called
got to
Little
remember, I can't do that no more. I don't live in Miami no more.
I know. I'm up here in Jacksonville. The only thing they
Suckers.
got is seafood all.
I'm in
everywhere you
Virginia,
look.
bro. Finding Cuban food in Virginia is nearly impossible.
Are you talking about La Carreta?
Yeah, La Carreta. Yeah, man. I used to go there
Yeah,
I
that's
used
the
to go there
spot.
every weekend, bro. Fire,
No,
bro.
Spot,
Now
dude.
they got
Fire.
now they got the Vicky Bakery. That's the new thing. Vicky
Vicky's is
Bakery.
good. Vicky's is good.
Dude,
They're everywhere.
it's
They're in Cooper
disgusting up
City,
here.
yeah? But there's
Yeah,
more than
but-
one?
Cap, what's that dish where it's the breaded steak over the rice and you put the fried egg on top? What's that called? I can't remember. My wife makes it all the time. Yeah, oh yeah, my wife's Cuban, bro.
it's
My
a-
kids are half Cuban and Portuguese. So
All
They
right,
call
guys.
that a poor man. They call that a poor man plate.
Hey guys, let's start
Fire,
talking
bro.
football because I'm getting hungry and it's nowhere.
Let's
You're
do
And
mad.
there's nowhere to go eat right now up here, so I kind of want to like.
Sorry, my brother. So listen, guys, we've been getting videos out. You know what? I'm gonna bring on a couple of the other guys that are waiting in the back too. I got Alex in the back, and I got Wicket, and then
Chris, do you have that newest Tua training video pulled up?
I do actually. I do. What's going on? D's nuts. Got him. All right.
Hey,
up, guys?
Doug. Oh well, Doug's
Yeah,
still ain't
dude.
back yet. Doug's doing
You
dad
know,
duties.
I'm gonna
So, Alex,
jump in
Wicked.
here. I'm gonna jump in here really quick.
Let's
And
do
I
it,
am
Wicked.
so damn mad at you guys for talking about a media noche right now. Because I'm in LA and you all know it. You all know I'm in LA. And there is only one place to get a decent media noche out here, and they're closed right now. So I can't even drive there and get one.
And, hey, so I'm not the only one who got pissed about hearing that conversation.
Oh man. So you know what? You guys inspired me, right? So I'm gonna cook arroz con pollo tomorrow now because of you guys.
I'm gonna change my
Nice.
name.
Go.
Hey Drew, I think I should go. I think I should go get a medianoche right now and like.
Go get it.
Color, I
Color, go do it.
Color.
If you put that shit on camera, Color,
Get it DoorDash.
I'm
to you,
coming
Color.
for you, bro. I'm
Get
coming
it
for you.
DoorDash with a
By
big thing of
Vicarious Through
plantains. Big
You
thing
You
of
gonna grub?
plantains.
Hey,
Color.
you gonna grub hub it?
Hey,
What are you
Color,
gonna do?
you thought Tua haters hated you? Do that. See what happens.
If he puts it on camera, that's personal, bro. That's personal.
Oh yeah, I'm with you, CT. That's personal now.
Yeah, once you put it on camera, that's personal. That's a whole nother ballgame.
Yeah.
They
I
gotta
will
be
buy
crispy,
a
though,
plane
man.
ticket, Kohler. I will
You
buy
get
a
a
Get a
plane
triple
ticket.
decker
Give him
peanut
to me
butter
crispy,
sandwich.
Hey,
Cat.
You get a
Give him to
soggy
me
sandwich.
crispy.
That's violation.
Yes,
Yep.
that's
Hey,
it. That's
Color,
important.
you
You
will
can't take that
officially
home. You
become
gotta
what goes
eat it.
inside your school mascot. The Lakewood Trojan, you will be the dick that goes inside the mascot.
Oh,
Going
God.
right at you,
Wow.
Trojan is.
Wow.
So, all
Has
right, let's
any
move off
has
the food
has
talk.
any has
That's gonna
anybody
get
had
this right
fried
here.
has anybody had fried ice cream before?
Yes.
All right,
Fried ice cream.
fried ice cream.
anybody
yeah,
had
you know what? I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
I like sweets, but I'm not like a big sweets guy, honestly.
Yeah,
You know?
fried ice cream's pretty
Give
cool.
me some Italian old lady cookies any day of the week, bro. That's what I like. Give me some Italian
Oh,
sweets.
Chris.
That's my jam right there, bro. I don't like.
Tiramisu.
Yeah, I kind of like
Tiramisu.
tiramisu. I'm kind of off it, bro. I've had so many different kinds. I kind of like tiramisu my way out of there, dog. I done sued my way up out of this.
that. Or the Tres Leches
Yeah,
Guys,
it's all right.
if you're
or
in
anything
the
like that. No, I'm good on that.
if you're in the stock market, be prepared for those stocks to get hit tomorrow.
Yeah,
Alexander.
because of Russia
Because
and
Russia
Ukraine.
just invaded Ukraine. Russia just invaded Ukraine.
Oil stocks should go up.
They've
So
been
what?
And
they've
then
been
what?
doing that already.
Yeah, bro. That
And
don't.
then-
I mean, how many times has Russia invaded Ukraine? Why is this one gonna be World War III?
Steel
I mean,
industry
Because
is
the
gonna
United
go
States
up.
are going to get involved. in
Well,
it. The United
because
States are gonna get
China
involved
is
in it.
watching, and China
Biden's
has
gonna get
threatened
involved
to
in it.
invade Taiwan too. So
That's
That's why.
waiting for that forever. I mean, we knew that.
Silicone chips are gonna go up because of that.
So what? Like, what's that got to do with me?
It's gonna be Red Dawn, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be
because
Red Dawn.
that's
Good
they
luck.
just
Chris.
think that it's going to be a falling of a bunch of dominoes,
Nope.
including
I'll tell you-
Iran. Iran,
That's why
you know,
I
is
don't watch the
possibly.
news, guys. This is why I don't
Mark
watch
my
the
words.
news right here. No, it's not.
Mark
They gotta-
my words. U.S. is going to get involved in this war.
Bro, listen.
The U.S. is going to.
U.S.
Yeah.
ain't get. If you know what U.S. gonna get involved with, the money, bro. That's what they get involved with. The money. Don't.
We're
fuck
gonna
around, bro.
we're gonna manufacture everything for the whole
Yeah,
thing
what
until
are
the
you
last
talking
second without having to get
I
involved.
know, Josie. That's right. From sandwiches to politics, you get it all out here in the Finn's tailgate. Holla at your boy.
Sometimes you get sports and politics.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll just get absolute.
We don't
nonsense.
aim for that though here.
You'll get
Hey,
absolute.
guys.
Sometimes you just get everybody hating on Tua.
Right, this
Every
ain't
night.
ESPN.
That can happen too. No, there's definitely ain't no Espen.
Oh yeah.
Just say the name Tua, and everybody will come in. The subject will
Hey
change.
guys,
Tua.
The Knicks
What
are
is
going to win
Frank-
the
what
the
is-
Knicks are going to win the NBA Finals. Watch.
I'm telling you,
Nick's gonna win the
crazy
NBA
talk,
Finals,
man.
bro.
Jeez.
Dude, you better
Not with that
you
crazy
pass the Dutchie, bro. Jesus, are you kidding me?
whatever
You're
you're
out of
on,
your mind,
share.
You got any hurricanes on your team?
All right, hold on. I'm gonna
No,
have
I
to
don't know
drop.
about
I'm gonna
that.
have to drop Sharif out to bring in Doug. Doug, we got a full room. How was the baby? Everything good with the baby?
Took a minute to put her back to sleep, but she's good.
God, you're all good, my brother. You're good. Yeah, we've been sitting in here talking about Cuban sandwiches and Russia invading Ukraine. So you missed a lot, bro.
I just got that advertise. What the? Oh shit.
So as you can see, it is the tailgate
No.
party. We're fully in
MCJB
it now.
MCJB just got some. What's up?
Now
You got a
that-
Russian
What happened,
hacker, MC. You got Russian hacked
Oh,
real
no.
quick. The invasion
listen
started
to-
early.
Listen to this. No.
Now that Doug is back, I'll watch my language about you all talking about bringing the sandwiches and showing
Listen.
pictures.
So
What's up,
out of
MCJB?
nowhere,
Go ahead.
I just got this advertisement, and it says, "Trump rips Biden as Putin invades Ukraine." Russian leader says Russian leader saw weakness.
Thanks, MC. Way to friggin',
I sent
crash
it to
the
you.
show, bro. Way to crash the show.
Hey, can I?
Damn for you too.
Can I shift the conversation here?
Yeah,
Please?
let's shift it.
All right. So, Doug, I have a bone to pick with you, sir.
Oh, here it comes,
So,
Doug. We knew this was happening.
Yeah. So I got turned on to your channel. And so, Sunday mornings here on the West Coast to watch games come really early. So, and they do us West Coast guys really wrong because the Dolphins are always playing at like 9 a.m. So I can't drink at that time. So here's my bone to pick. Why is Dad not on more with you? Because I got to tell you, and this is God's honest truth. I would turn on the local game here. I would mute it. I would put you on when you're doing the play-by-play because, you can't get Dolphin games anymore, apparently, unless I get DirecTV. And so I'm sitting there, I'm watching it, and I'm watching you and Dad, right? You tossing back a couple of cold ones. You got me in trouble with my kids because it was 9:15, and I cracked open a beer with you guys. And then all of a sudden, I got to tell you, man, Doug, you got to have Dad on more. He is a star.
I'd love to have him on more, but he's just busy. Like, I think the last 2 Sundays, he had something to do with my mother. And then normally we do the picks together. But for him to get here, because again, I moved away from, I used to live in the same town as him. Now I'm 45 minutes away from him. It's a hassle. It's a hassle for him, especially if he was truck driving all day. All he wants to do is go home and relax. So it's hard. I get him on as much as he can be on. So it's
Doug,
hard.
you out in the suburbs now, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Got you, bro. Get a kid, get in the suburbs, bro. I got you.
Hey, Doug, I got to say congratulations on your milestone, man. I couldn't make it on your show that day.
I appreciate that, bud.
And
Doug hit the big 30, guys. Let's get Doug to 100 now.
Do you think this is the year we finally see them? Well, they re-sign Hollins and move him to tight end, and what Frank Smith did with Waller.
It could. He'd have to get a little bit bigger, Matt Collins. But yeah, Matt Collins is so reliable. He's so underutilized on this team and underappreciated. Like, so many times he punts down at the 1 yard line and just gets open, makes the clutch catches and situations we needed. He needs to be re-signed. Like, he is such a good
yesterday.
Yeah.
You know how painful it is for me to admit that with how much trash I gave EM when he was always backing Matt Collins.
I love Matt Collins. I like his off-field stuff. I like his on-field stuff. He's a gamer.
But I look at what Frank Smith did with Waller. Waller was a bust at wide receiver when he came in. Frank Smith went ahead and turned him around and got him in his first Pro Bowl, and then he's been taken off. Would have had another Pro Bowl year this year if he didn't get hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also look at Matt Collins, and he could stand to put on a couple of pounds too. I mean, why not? Like, he could probably put on some of that weight, and he's physical in the blocking game as well. So it's not like he's afraid of contact.
Can you imagine a linebacker trying to cover him?
Yeah, seriously.
No, not really. Not with that stride. And he's got quick steps too. He moves his feet well inside the box to change direction, which is hard for guys with long legs. Go ask Mike Gesicki. You can see him. I don't know how he does it. He's not the slowest guy, but his strides are so long. He covers so much ground. But if you want him to turn on a dime, there's no dime turning. He can go from straight to right or left. It's kind of how his deal is. Those hands, though, that catch radius is something else. That catch radius is next level.
So can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead, CT.
Doug, what do you think? But with Hunter Long, if we move Hollins over and re-sign Smythe, are you willing to let Gesicki walk?
It depends. Like I said, it might come down to a situation where the Dolphins are going to let him test the market, and if it gets to that point, he's not coming back. He's gonna get too much money on the open market. It depends on how much they re-sign him for, because again, I don't see him being as that all-around back. I constantly talk about the fact that you look at the top 3 tight ends in the NFL in Kittle, Kelsey, and even the Ravens tight end Andrews, and they can block. They're all around tight ends that can block and get open, find the open spot in the open field, and do all that stuff. And that's the element that Gesicki's missing from his game, is that ability to block and that ability to be that physical tight end. So,
And
I like to keep him, but we'll see.
And if I may add, don't forget that as far as pass efficiency, I mean, Durham Smythe might not be getting all the targets because Gesicki's on the field, but I'd be interested to see what happens if he did take the load of the targets, because when he does, he usually has a very efficient game. Like his overall pass catching percentage is like above 80% for this year and last year. And also he's averaging like just about 10 yards per reception. So you're basically talking about an 85% guaranteed first down when the ball's thrown to the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I look at Gesicki is he's either a tight end who doesn't block or a receiver who runs lazy routes.
You know what? Not only that, he's a receiver that doesn't block too. That doesn't work in this thing. If you don't block as a tight end and you still don't block as a wide receiver, like even when he gets matched up on a lower guy, like he should be able to sling some of these corners.
Exactly. He just described Mac Hollins, except so why would we pay him all that money if we can keep Mac Hollins on the roster for less money?
We all know from Mac Hollins is going to do the dirty work.
How much of that is accountability? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how much was the coaching staff, the prior coaching staffs, actually holding those guys accountable to actually blocking, and how much of it is just laziness? That's what I want to know.
It's all on the player, because even without the coaching staff, you would still want to improve yourself.
Well, some of it's Gesicki's bravado too.
Yeah, well, Gesicki flat out doesn't show the willingness to block. He doesn't want to block.
I think that's another contention I have with Mike Gesicki is, fine, don't block. Be no blocker. Why don't you fight off some of these tackles and break one, though? You know what I'm saying? It's there's limitations in Gesicki's game. If we had a star-studded pass game with 5 wide, he's a perfect weapon if you can afford him, because he's a mismatch nightmare, and you could just throw the ball at him, a bunch, and you'll force the defense to double cover him, which then you can use one of your outside wide, speed guys on the outside. But that's not what we're running anymore. That's the thing. You need your wide receivers to block. You need your running backs to block. You need your tight ends to block. That's how this stuff's going to do good, because then you get these guys out in front to block.
I think Jakeem Grant had more broken tackles than Gesicki.
I agree. Jakeem Grant was slippery.
Yeah,
we both had them for more than 3 seasons, and we really haven't seen that Travis Kelce moment from him.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's Jakeem Grant for you. Alex, did you have a question for Doug?
Well, I got one, guys.
Got a media noche.
Yeah,
Alex is out, man.
Go ahead, Cap.
Hey, Doug, man, just want to say thanks for hanging out with us, man. It's a new thing that pretty much everybody talks about, the Shanahan tree and whatnot. Everybody on here is coming off the DDW branch. It's a branch off of your tree, man. So thanks a lot for everything you do,
we're the
man.
DDW tree.
And yeah, man, look, Gio isn't up here, man, but I want to. He's been dying to ask this question too, and I've been thinking about it as well. But we do have 2 first rounders for next season. Do we contemplate thinking about moving one of those first rounders into this draft, knowing that we don't have that much arsenal in the first round? And is it worth it, knowing that maybe the key elements to fill are running back and middle linebacker, in my opinion? Do you take that gamble and try to move your capital for next season to this upcoming draft?
It depends what Stephen Ross knows. So what I mean by that is, if he knows that he did tell Brian Flores to tank for $100,000. And if he does know that there is physical proof of it, like if Greer's like, look, I emailed and texted Flores talking about it, then you trade those picks.
Right?
Before the
You never
NFL
know.
takes them. But
That's
if
what I'm
not,
saying.
no, I sit on him. I sit on him if not. Just because, again, we don't know what Tua's going to do, and if Tua doesn't pan out, we can use those picks to get the quarterback that they want.
All right. And with that being said, I'm gonna put you on the hot seat real quick because I know a lot of guys have a lot of questions. But with that being said, with this season coming up, if things don't go our way, do we still consider Tua a franchise quarterback?
Not with us. Now, does that mean he'll never be one? No, because we've seen tons of quarterbacks have horrible starts and end up being really good. Look at Kurt Warner. So I wouldn't say that he can never be one or he can never develop into one. But there's, for me anyway, I'm not doing the Ryan Tannehill thing where you're bringing a new coach, and we'll see what he does with him, and we'll see what he does with him. I'm not doing 7 years of this. So if he doesn't show huge development, because as much people don't want to see it or agree with it, he did develop and he did do better than he did in 2020. Then I'm moving on. I think it's time to move on, not only for the team but for him as well, because something's not clicking, and then he needs to be on another team, because sometimes that's the best thing for a player.
Again,
or if it's
I say
injury
it all the
too.
time. It may just be oil and water in Miami.
Mhm.
Maybe he never really. Who knows if the guy never even wanted to be here? For all we know,
Good.
we're going to find out a lot this season.
You know what's good about being the old man on this panel right now? I think I'm the oldest. I saw a guy named Steve
I'll
Young.
let you have that.
I saw a guy named Steve Young bomb in Tampa Bay.
Yep.
And then he went to the West Coast offense with talent around him, and he's now in the Hall of Fame.
Brett Favre.
Phillip Rivers.
I'd even argue Rich Gannon.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Brees.
Rich Gannon, yeah, he did good. I got a bunch of Rich Gannon cards.
But
Nobody's going to call Rich Gannon elite, but he did the job for
Listen,
John
he looked
Gruden,
good.
He
looked good.
But see, the thing about it is Steve Young never had a strong arm. He did not have the strongest arm out there.
Mm-mm.
No.
And the West
He could
Coast
still
offense
sling it and
fit-
run like a son
Yeah,
of a bitch.
but the West Coast offense fit him perfect. And that's what I'm hoping, without Tua having that cannon for an arm. You never know if he's bringing in that West Coast style offense, that might fit him perfect.
Yeah, I listen, I agree totally, Todd. I think this is definitely the offense that should accentuate Tua, because like I said earlier to Doug, I think if there's anything I can measure an elite about Tua, it's his operation as a quarterback, his ability to be a quarterback and do what's necessary as quarterback. He can make the throws. Some of them, he got to step in and heave that bad boy, but he can make them. He can, operate dissecting a defense, trying to put things in motion, audible out of plays, all kinds of that stuff. So I could definitely see where that's probably the most part where he could be elite. For me, and I said this earlier, Doug, it comes down to can he stay not injured, man. That's what worries me, bro, because it's always been Knicks too. And if he's out 3 games a year, and we got to start leaning on backup quarterbacks and stuff, that's hard to pay guys like that hundreds of millions of dollars, because that's ultimately what this comes down to. One day he'll be $175, $180 million contract, God willing, because then he's worth the money. I want to pay him $180 million because I'm like, yeah, he's worth it. That would be great. Drubitron, you got a question for Doug?
Yeah. So, what's up, Doug?
What's up, man?
So I want to get your opinions. I'm kind of known as the conspiracy theory guy around here. So I want to get your opinion. What was that?
I said kind of.
Kind of. Stop picking on me, okay?
Jubitron's my secret weapon because he's a fan of Tua. So yeah.
Listen, Jubitron and I have had some conversations in the back. We do some conspiracy, running down some rabbit holes sometimes. So it's fun talk.
I'm curious what you think, and obviously none of this is. Nobody knows, but just to get your pulse. What do you think about the possibility that maybe Stephen Ross could have offered others money, specifically in the last season.
So what do you mean? Like he offered
money to lose games
to the other coaches?
Interesting.
Or players?
I don't know about players. I'll specify.
Yeah, you can't. Players, it would be dumb for a player to take money to lose because then players are, their career.
I don't know. Jesse Davis looks like he might have had a little incentive.
Austin Jackson. Man,
Hey,
Jesse Davis driving around Jesse Davis driving around a yacht next year. I'm gonna wonder what the hell's going on.
Jesse Davis was below average healthy, and last year he spent all year not healthy.
I don't know. I don't know if it'd be interesting if it came out that it did happen. Because then it could kind of explain why all of a sudden they went 1-7 and then they went 8-1.
And have good justification for firing the head coach.
Yeah, because if you don't have control over your coaching staff, like, come on.
And only the head coach.
So I'll go down this rabbit hole real quick.
Come play with us on the other side.
Got him.
Josh Boyer.
Got him.
100,000 every loss. He starts losing, and then he starts calling good defense. They start winning.
Well, Doug, I got you hook, line, and sinker, Doug. I got you. I got you. Listen, Doug, did you remember the reports when that we heard that Flores kind of stopped talking to some of his staff? Do you remember around when that was?
Thanksgiving.
Do you remember when we started winning?
Thanksgiving.
But here's my issue with that. Here's my issue.
Remember who? Oh, well, one more thing. I'm going to throw one more wrinkle, and I'll shut up. Around that time is also when somebody new was added to the box with Boyer.
And he's not there anymore.
And that guy is also no longer in Miami.
But here's my issue with that. If I don't think Flores would, if it was being called that bad, I figure if Flores had any kind of intelligence, which I think he's an intelligent man, and I have no doubt, nothing to question that, he would have taken over the play calling on defense a long time ago and not going 1-7.
But hey, if we're gonna go on the down the rabbit hole, let me ask you this, Doug, on that little conspiracy theory tip there. I also find it ironic, not even necessarily the Thanksgiving thing, but we started winning the week after the trade deadline. And so is it ironic that Flores didn't get Watson like he wanted, and he tried to throw a fit and lose games going, look, see, we need him. But then all of a sudden when he didn't get him, then he's like, all right, well, I'm about to lose my job, so I better start winning. I don't know. That
ABAB makes a good point. Maybe Putin paid off Ross to lose games.
CG, if I could answer that, if I could answer Russians, that, CG, it wouldn't make sense for him to turn down losing ball games purposely and then turn around and lose ball games purposely because of personal issues with one man on the team.
If he was going to throw games, he might as well take the money for it.
Like if he wasn't willing to blow his integrity for $100,000 per game, why would he do it? Because of his hatred for Tua.
Go ahead, Doug.
Because it may be him getting Watson and him wanting to win a championship.
Hold on, guys.
I think what happened with
that, Burrow if he tanked.
The distraction was gone, essentially. That's what I think happened with that.
All right, so Sharif, I know you had a question you wanted to ask. Go ahead, Sharif.
Hey, fins up. How y'all doing? Doug, hey man, I didn't miss the meetup with you and Big O the other night. Big O has an impressionable personality, man. I tell you what, I've been with Big O from 560 WQAM first team though. He's a cool guy. But I didn't miss it for the world. But I want your take on this because I really believe you're going to think about this before you answer this. Chris Greer, we know he's been here 15 plus years. We know he's seen the Tannehill 7-year. He's seen the Henny. He's seen the Fiedlers and all that. Okay. Do you think if it's Greer's plan and it's his head on the line, do you think he has a 7-year plan for Tua, or do you think he will use those picks? I mean, it's a us fans' feelings, but I want you to think what you believe is Greer's plan. Do you think he wants to implement a 7-year plan for Tua?
No.
Thank you.
I hope not.
It wouldn't make sense to, if there is no development, it just makes no sense to consistently beat your head against the wall and hope one day you get through it. Like it doesn't make any sense to keep doing that. So I think he sees potential. I think he sees the potential that a lot of people saw, because people forget that come April 1st of 2020, and you look at all these national and big boards, when it's from NFL.com to ESPN to Sports Illustrated, they all had Tua in the top 10 of their big, 100 big board, and they all had Justin Herbert in the 20s.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people were wrong. So I think he saw something and he wants to see if he can. It's kind of like the Giants, how they came out and said, oh, it's our fault why Daniel Jones hasn't been successful here. So we're going to try to fix that. I think that's what Greer's going to do. But again, I think if he doesn't have a huge step this year, I don't see him as a Dolphin next year.
I think that he forced Tannehill on us year 3. And I think this may be like okay, I'm forcing him on you, and then we're going to sell in the media how he can get better.
Now, Sharif, the only problem, the only thing I have against that is I think Tannenbaum was running it then.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
He was.
I think Tannenbaum was running that ship way back then. Tony, you had a question. Go ahead, buddy.
Honestly, please, I don't want to lose. I'm too young to be losing my hair over this team. Seriously. This is getting really tiring. Having 7-year plan with mediocre quarterbacks with Tannehill and Tua. Tua at best is a weak-armed Chad Pennington. Honestly, I know Tua fans don't want to hear that, but it's true. Honestly.
Tony coming in guns blazing on Tua right now.
Wow.
I mean, weak arm Chad Pennington.
Tell us how you really feel.
Tony, where you been with that? Where you been with that, man? I could have used you like a week ago.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we were
no.
I
use
forget Ukraine. Tony, shots fired.
I'm getting sick and tired of these ignorant ass Tua fans who weren't Dolphins fans to begin with, defending this guy who's trash in the first place.
I wouldn't say
he was
trash.
overrated coming out of college.
Get him, Tony.
Man, where's this guy?
Overrated coming out of college?
I don't know. I think everybody in the world had him rated up pretty high.
Pretty high.
No, the media overhyped him. That's what I meant to say.
That was the best media overhype ever. But I agree. Definitely. Go ahead, Doug.
I don't see so many people were worried about that hip injury. I didn't see.
No, before the hip injury. I'm talking about.
Before the hip injury. Yes, he was the next coming of whoever you want to say is great.
No, they were saying he was the next coming of Joe Montana, which
but we'll never know if he would have ever became that, because we don't know, because he got injured.
Well, here's the thing. I think if it doesn't work out with Tua, and say 5 years from now he's backing up somewhere else and it fizzles out, I think it'll always go that, it was the hip that did him in. That's why I always go to the injuries. Like if he can't play in cold weather, when it gets cold, my hip, right where I broke my femur at my hip, it hurts. My ribs hurt. Now I'm several years older than him, and I didn't get, the type of medical attention I'm sure he got, you know what I'm saying? But he's still a young guy. I just wonder,
the mental aspect is what
if it shows that too, the mental aspect of the injuries, because you've seen him mentally be not prepared in places. And Doug, I actually have video of Flores at practice with Tua, and why Flores was a hard guy to get along with, and he was kind of mean.
Not this. Remember the Titans clip.
What did you say? We need a water break. You need a water break. Water is for cowards. Water makes you weak. Water is for washing blood off that uniform, and you don't get no blood on my uniform. Boy, you must be outside your mind. We are going to do up-downs until Blue is no longer tired and thirsty.
Yeah, it's in South Florida, no water. That's cruel and unusual punishment. So,
I don't know what happened to Flores because in 2020, the TNT wall, all that stuff got taken away. All of a sudden, penalties and all that stuff this year was just horrendous. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he got soft or something. Apparently, if we're gonna go off the rumors, he didn't get soft. But
he just stopped talking to everybody.
Yeah, and when you look at the history of the quarterbacks that San Francisco or in general Kyle Shanahan and Mike McDaniel look at, Tua doesn't fit that mold, in my honest opinion.
Hey, Doug, who do you think wanted pretty much at the end of the day? We're pretty much all asking ourselves the same question, but at the end of the day, who do you think wanted Watson, Ross or Flores?
I think all three of them did.
Thank you, Doug. That's I agree. I think they all wanted him. I think Ross wanted him the most.
That's why, agree or disagree, we like this guy because he speaks facts and truth and objectivity. Good job, man.
There's no way that it would have gotten as far as it did if all three of them didn't want him.
No, actually, I think Flores and the front office wanted Watson, but honestly, I think Ross wanted to be proven right that Tua is a superstar quarterback. I think, to be honest, I don't trust anything Ross says, to be honest. Just because he said he wanted Watson, I think the front office and Flores wanted Deshaun Watson, but Ross forced it on them, making to prove he was right, that he made the right choice instead of going after Justin Herbert. And
I don't know if there was that much division early on, Tony, if you want to be real. It seemed to me that there was talk of Watson that offseason. It was sold, bought, and ready to go. Then the legality stuff happened. And they kind of got caught holding the bag again, just like with Joe Burrow. But that's the thing that I worry about. Like, there was never, between trying to trade up for Joe Burrow, trying to get Deshaun Watson, there's a lot of not a faith happening on Tua around here with the organization. So I think they righted a lot of their wrongs by getting a system style quarterback, and we'll see what they do from this point on.
Capitan.
Because if they don't buy fully into it, because you've heard me say this before, Sharif, I think Chris Greer, Doug, is smart enough to build up to it to sell to another fan base.
Yeah.
Between now and before the first snap of football happens. Like Carolina, who after the draft, I could see a lot of shifting and moving, because we'll see what happens with quarterbacks.
I know this is
Deshaun
a
Watson.
conspiracy theory on my part, and I know Mike thinks this is crazy, but for me, I think, Chris, you were on the stream last night, but I feel honestly, with the history of the Chargers franchise being cheap, I honestly feel that Justin Herbert's demand a trade out of there, like Breeze and what's his name, and Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers never left, and Breeze got
no, he was
out,
forced to stay there. He had no choice.
Eli was supposed to go there.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But
Eli forced his way out.
So,
They got
guys,
Rivers
that's a totally different situation. Tony, it's totally different. I'm in LA, and I'm going to tell you right now, even if the Chargers feel like they're the stepbrother to the Rams because the Rams just won the Super Bowl, first of all, most LA fans, LA individuals, still think of the Chargers as a San Diego franchise.
Yeah, it's
just
a North
North
California team.
They're not an LA team, right?
that's what I'm saying. No, they're a Southern California team.
No.
But he's saying the fan base isn't represented by LA.
The fans in LA think, and even on the radio, the the fans in LA, and that's where I am,
shots.
think of the Chargers as a San Diego franchise.
Yes,
they don't see them as an LA franchise. Okay.
Yeah, that's been like that for a while though.
Yeah,
I want to bring.
That's why I feel. That's why.
Doug,
I feel,
do you think? I don't think the Chargers are gonna let Herbert walk.
There's
Doug,
no way.
There's no way that would. First of all, I mean, outside of him turning out to be some kind of bad person off the field and some legal issues come his way, that ain't gonna happen, Tony. You're crazy, bro. They're in an LA market. If they let that guy walk,
Chris,
they might as well just close the franchise up and move it to a different nation, like they're gonna do.
Yeah, he's literally the only reason they're selling tickets right now.
Talk about investigating for tanking. That's what would
Yeah.
typically be going on.
Oh my God.
I want to bring a scenario.
Oh, hold on. Go ahead, Wicked.
I want to bring a scenario. Oh,
go ahead, Wicked.
Go ahead, Wicked.
So the other thing, you guys, I mean, the other thing you have to understand is LA is the second largest media market in the nation. Sponsorship alone, Herbert is going to, whatever anybody else says, he's on television, he's on local commercials. He is making an absolute fortune here in LA. All right. So I'm a Laker fan. And
sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I'll take the heat. But
retirement home?
No, we got the heat.
Yeah, I know you do. But understand something. It's the reason why the teams in LA don't have to offer the same money sometimes as the small market teams is because in just the sponsorship dollars alone, they're going to make that up 3, 4, 5-fold. So there is no way Herbert is going to leave the Chargers because this is the only relevance that the Chargers have seen as a franchise in the last 20 years.
And Herbert's a West Coast guy.
Yeah, I don't think Herbert's going nowhere just because it wouldn't make no sense at all. It'd be a dumb blunder. Sharif, what were you going to say, buddy?
I have a scenario for the panel, and I'm glad Doug's here. Let's say there was a plan A, B, and C during the Teddy Bridgewater. I guess Ross went and tried to get Tyrod Taylor as well, and he turned him down. Both turned him down, and they've settled for Fitz. Now, my thing is the plan A was we're going to try and attempt to get Deshaun Watson, and then he resigned with Houston. That was the plan. This is before Flo. So the plan B became Fitzmagic and then Flo. After Teddy Bridgewater turned you down, Tyrod Taylor turned you. We can look up the timeline. Your plan B failed.
That was when the team was known to be tanking, though. Those guys didn't want to go do that. You know, it's not like they were picking their franchise quarterback, bro. You got to think about that, Sharif.
But the reports were they were trading for Deshaun Watson in 2019. And the Miami Dolphins T-shirt with Dan Marino, that came out then with Deshaun Watson wearing. Speeding up, I think the plan B didn't work, where you attempted to get Burrow. So your plan A didn't work. Your plan B, this is. I don't think Flo had any influence on these plans, is my point. So your plan B failed. You had to get plan C, which is Tua. I think your plan C was not Tua.
It was Justin Herbert.
Yeah, and I think that someone made a movement, but you get my point. Now, Doug, what do you think? Do you think there is a scenario of because we knew they tried to move up and get Burrow? What's your thoughts?
If they wanted Herbert, they would have took Herbert. In all honesty,
no. And Doug, the reason why I said Herbert is because
Doug,
the year that before he decided to go back to Oregon, we were picking number 1 the year before, and they said we were gonna draft Justin Herbert.
Yeah, but they didn't. They say a lot of stuff, Tony. I mean, we could have drafted Herbert. I do agree that I think it defaulted to Ross making that pick. I agree with that sentiment. That probably when the three of them are sitting in the room, Ross goes, "Okay, you guys have your votes, and my vote counts as 2. My vote counts as 2."
And besides, Tony, when were we picking number 1?
Right.
Did you guys see Joe
The
Shad's
last
tweet
time I
about?
remember picking number 1 was Jake Long.
Hey, real quick, you guys see Joe Shad's tweet about hold on about Mike McDaniel said after media availability today they're going to have Wes Welker versus Surtain and Madison on one-on-ones.
That's awesome.
Oh Lord,
man, bro, I'll pay money.
This guy just like he must sit at home at night thinking of the right things to say. You know what I mean? Like
Bring out the ambulance.
That's
in the
hilarious.
Guys, Madison was a big pickup for us. What he did with the Kansas City corners was nothing short of great.
What was the quality of those corners in Kansas City? Also,
That's
They
what
were
I'm
backwards.
saying.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. He started off 18th, went to 10th, and then finished 6th last year with his secondary.
Absolutely.
Todd, the year that we were supposed to pick first was not 2019 or 2020. It was the 2018. He was supposed to come out as junior year, which was 2018.
Yeah, but we didn't have the first pick.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Yes, we did.
In 2018?
No.
Yes, I believe we had the first pick.
We haven't had the first overall pick
since Jake Long.
Jake Long. Jake Long.
Yeah.
Or was it number 2 that we had? Was it number
2009,
2?
correct?
No, last year we had number 3.
What pick
last
did
year
we?
had
Somebody
the
look
third
up.
pick.
What pick did we have in 18?
Tony, last year we had number 3, Tony.
Yeah, last year we had the third
I know
overall pick.
No, I know we had.
No, he's
the
talking about
year before-
2018.
The year before that, we had
we were
the
not
5th
closer.
pick. And the year before that, in 18, I think we had the 16th pick in the draft. If I recall
Well,
correctly.
18 was when we got Tunsil.
The 11th
No.
pick.
The 11th pick.
13th for Tunsil.
You're right.
2018, we took Minka at 11.
Right.
Yep. At 11, yeah.
Forgetting me.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't had a first in damn near
Since
20
Jake Long.
years.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
2008 after we
Yeah.
went
When we
1 and
passed on Matt Ryan.
Yes, we passed on
Matty
Matt Ryan.
Ice.
Herbert was a sophomore in 2018.
There you go.
So I think the plan A, the plan B, and the plan C didn't work.
There was talk about
Ross.
Herbert.
No.
Herbert, I think he was a redshirt freshman, so he could have come out the year before he came out, and he stayed in there. And he probably would have gone top 5, but he stayed in. It hurt his draft status. that
Now, I
year at
do
Oregon.
Did I hear you correctly,
And
Sharif? You think Tua was plan D?
Hey, now
I
I do
think
think.
Tua was plan D, and like Ross stepped in. This is why people can't tell me Flores has influence and ran roughshod. Because Ross was making power moves over Sperano from before.
Oh yeah, no, I blame
you
all
can't
the.
tell me Flo wanted a quarterback and Ross says, look, this is my team. I'm making this first pick. You guys can have the second, third rounds, but I'm making this pick.
Bottom line, I blame Ross for a lot of this. Pretty much all of it, because of the fact, if you really wanted to fire Flores this bad and you wanted him out, should have done it when we were 1-7. There would have been no questions asked.
If he didn't take your 100K, fire him. Because you like let's go down the rabbit hole. If Boyer take the 100K and he's still here, then he should have fired Flo.
No, I don't know about that, because that still make you look bad. But at 1-7,
yeah, but listen, like Alex puts in the comments, it was tank for Tua.
Yeah.
The whole city knew it. The whole NFL knew it. And when we put together a tanking team, it was to tank for Tua. Now, Tua being injured changed the plan. They were like, give me Burrow instead. And I think that's when the plan started changing, because Flores wanted to win. And as we've heard Chris Greer say before, I'm not going to give my coach a player he doesn't want. I think that was more of a signal that Flores probably didn't want Tua, but it wasn't Greer that gave it to him. It was the owner. I do agree that the pick for Tua was the owner, because if the pick for Tua was all Flores, no coach can unplug from the quarterback they draft like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and you don't get to get all the picks and all the say with the way this franchise goes.
Think about this, Captain.
after you've already signed up for Tua as your quarterback. So I think there might have been detraction from Flores. I think he signed off on it. And I think he was on for the plan, but I don't know when he got off the plan now. I don't know.
Let me ask you a question.
Hold on, Todd, real quick. Think about this. Week 7, Flores comes out. I really, I can't answer the question of how Tua is the starter today. Gailey wakes up. Wow, I don't know what's going on. I thought Fitz was the starter. Fitz started crying in McDonald's, finding out on the internet he wasn't the starter anymore. You think Flo did that? Come on.
No. I think
That's a
everybody.
power move over my GM and over my coach, because Flo ended up coming out and saying, Doug, I would never put my kid in this situation if I'm sure he's not ready, meaning health. So Flo even backed up, like, I'm not really behind putting a young kid in who's not ready and healthy yet. So that was a power move over. Come on. You should have just fired Flo because he won't listen to you. You should have just got rid of him.
Yo, but in 2019, why don't you pull a power move? I want to see what we have in Rosen.
Well, I think Tua was the power move and still is the power move.
No, what I'm saying, instead of saying $100,000 to Flores to throw games, I want to see what we have in Rosen. Let's throw Rosen.
Let's stick to what happened. Flo didn't want Tua because he was still hurt week 7, and let's stick with what happened.
I'm talking about before this. I'm talking about before Tua was drafted.
That's conspiracy.
I'm talking about
Flo didn't want the young guy.
Hold up. Let's not get too bogged down, because honestly, guys, I'm actually going to start closing the show down, and I want Doug to be able to get some questionings in and stuff like that.
Go ahead.
So let's go ahead and work in this deal. So I'll do it like this, and I'll allow everyone to talk about it. Wide receiver, running back, need weapons for this offense to move forward. What weapon would best serve the team if we could have your pick? And we'll start with Drubitron. Drubitron, why don't you give me, if we're gonna pick a weapon on the free agent market, there's a couple, or even just somebody that maybe we could even trade for this team. Who is your guy right now?
I'm gonna go totally out of left field. Because there's a lot of boring picks, right? Nobody wants to hear the typical ones. So here's my out of left field pick. I think there's a good chance that we could see Rob Gronkowski in Miami. And
oh, Jesus.
It sounds crazy, but
it is crazy.
I think Rob Gronkowski likes Miami better than Tampa Bay. I think he's going to – and the other reason I think why he may end up in Miami is because I think Tom Brady is going to convince him to come play in Miami, because Tom Brady is going to be taking some type of –
I knew you were going to say that.
In this team. I think he's going to talk Gronk into coming down, and he wouldn't be a terrible fit. He's a good blocker. I know he's 32, but, I mean, the guy still got it. I mean, in a team that was stacked, in the Tampa Bay team that was stacked, he still found a way to get involved in that offense. Gronk still got it. And I'm going to drop the mic.
It's all right, Drubitron. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Let's go with Sharif.
My favorite player would be to get Ben Jones at center. But let's not go with offensive lineman. I was trying to do like a weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like, he picked the tight end. He could do running back, spot receiver. Trying to have like weapons for Tua. #, weapons for Tua. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at Cleveland right now, and they're thinking of cutting Landry for the 14.5 that they're gonna owe him, and that is humming around Cleveland paper right now. So if they can cut him, I would. Jarvis Landry is the closest thing to a playmaker, yak after catch. I would get him in here to help Tua grow.
All right. That's a good weapon, Sharif. Thanks for hopping in, brother. Let's go with Tony. Tony, what kind of weapon would you enjoy to see in this offense?
Did it have to be in free agency, or could it be in the draft?
Sure, you can pick a draft pick, bud. I like that.
Okay. Honestly, Jaden, since we're probably going to let this guy go, Gesicki, draft Jaden Wademeyer, the tight end from Texas A&M.
Okay. I'll have to look at some of that game tape. I haven't started doing my
and he knows how to block, because in order for you to be recruited by Jimbo Fisher as a tight end, you have to know how to block. and that Texas A&M offense is a pro style offense. They teach their tight ends how to block.
All right, listen, I kind of wonder with the young tight end, but if you're talking, yeah, you're right. We let some of these guys go. Thanks, Tony, for the question, bud. I do kind of wonder though, with it's kind of a different theme. Well, we haven't seen a theme yet with this team. Flores was all young, go young. I think we're the youngest team in the league by like almost a whole year, so it's pretty big. Let's do CT. CT, what kind of weapon would you enjoy around here?
I don't know if I can. Excuse me. I don't know if I can go with one specific player. I want to go with the position because there's a lot of interchangeable guys out there. But I want a dominant X wide receiver, and I think that opens up our game plan in a whole nother way.
Okay. All right. So you want to like an
Allen Robinson and Mike Williams, somebody who's a big-bodied wide receiver. Yeah, we can go out and we can get, one of these, mid-tier, fast guys to open up that underneath. But, man, we saw how great the offense could be. Granted, yes, we're making changes scheme-wise, but every team needs at least one big-bodied wide receiver for those 50-50 balls. And Tua loves that comeback route and whatever, and Parker's just not cutting it. That's all.
All right, CT. Thanks, brother. Todd, why don't you go, my man?
Since we're all going out of left field here with some of the picks,
and you can get out of left field. Maybe it's somebody you steal from another team.
No, this is a player that's a free agent, but he hasn't done anything since being in a Mike McDaniel offense, and that's the Matt Breida. Bringing him down. And that's because I think he'd be cheap. And what he can do in a Mike McDaniel's offense has been shown with all those highlights being up there in San Fran. So that would be my little cheap running back. Bring him to the room.
All right, I like that, Todd. That's probably something too. You get double whammy on that because you bring in a guy that knows the scheme, can help the guys learn the scheme. Maybe get Myles Gaskin in order if they decide to keep Myles. We'll see. Thanks, Todd. Wicked, what's up, brother?
All right. I'm going way out of left field. And just so you know, son of Wicked, he's in here. I floated it by him and he said, hell no. He said, hell no. But this is way out of left field. I don't believe it's possible, but he's saying it ain't going to happen. We have draft capital. What if we trade a first or a first next year and a second to the Rams for Cooper Kupp?
Ooh, see, I like that. They can you can buy.
They
Cooper
have
Kupp.
no draft picks. Just so we know, the Rams have no draft picks for the next 5 years.
Yeah, but they're not in the market of getting draft picks. It's kind of their whole deal is giving them away.
That's my son of Wicked is like he's over here. He's gonna kick my butt when.
He got him. He beat him up.
Yep. Looks like
that's. But realistically, ideally, what I would love to see, and I think it would be a home run, if we could pick up one of the top 3 backers, one of the top 3 or 4 running backs in the draft. All right. Because I think this draft is actually pretty deep in our position of needs. And that's what I would really like to see. And if we could pick up Godwin or Robinson, I would be happy.
What's Son of Wicked say?
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Did Son of Wicked have somebody he wanted to say?
All right. Somehow or another, I got muted, guys. I'm sorry.
No problem, brother. Take it easy, Wicked. Yeah, he was having 10. Color, my man. What are we talking here? Weapons for Tua. Remember, weapons for Tua.
So my first thought was, in a realistic manner, was Jamison Crowder up in the Jets. He's going to go for about $14 million. I'd probably go that route before somebody like Landry, but because that would also free up Waddle to be utilized how he should be instead of the way we have been. But dream scenario, like I really think that, and I don't know what Cleveland's intentions are or how enamored they are with the guy, but I really like their Ernest Johnson to fill in our backfield, because he's a hard runner. He, showed out some, and I think he was actually exceptional for the flashes that he did show. But we know Duke is a hard runner, but that's probably only going to last another year. But other than that, somebody like Melvin Gordon, somebody that has played in the systems out there that Frank Smith is known for running along with. People forget one other thing too, is that I just looked up Frank Smith, but besides being the running game coordinator out at San Diego, which is the system that Austin Eckler has been thriving in, and originally Melvin Gordon, Frank Smith was the tight ends coordinator in Las Vegas for like Darren Waller. I mean, have we forgotten that? I mean, I haven't really heard that mentioned many places.
We were mentioned a little bit earlier today. Was kind of mentioned in here.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a couple. I'm just one of those people that, like, you even any big name wide receiver, you run the risk of him trying to just get paid and shut it down. And that's been our biggest problem in Miami, bringing guys like that in. But I think Mike Williams still has a lot left to prove, legacy wise, and I really love him as a wide receiver. So, but realistically speaking, big name, Amari Cooper, I'd like to make it happen. I'd like to see it happen. I think Amari Cooper would improve our wide receiver room, if not just for
it'd be fun to watch Amari
and his skill at running routes. I mean, he'd be able to translate a lot of what Wes Welker will be trying to coach out to our wide receiver room, as far as finding the open spots in the field, attention to detail on your route running and things like sitting down in the zone. So, I'm a big fan of finding some way to get Amari over here, since Dallas seems hell-bent on shopping him.
Yeah, maybe with the Gesicki trade that could happen. You put a franchise tag on Gesicki and do a little trade over there, maybe, because they're not gonna want to have weapons go down, because they love their weapons. Thanks, Color. I'm gonna drop you in the back, my brother. So, Doug, I tried to keep it as much on the reins as I could, brother. As you've seen, if I went a whole nother hour, we could really start getting crazy around here. So, I really appreciate you coming, man, and hanging out at the Fins Tailgate. Again, dude, big fan. Anyone who's not subscribed, you're ridiculous. How are you not subscribed? It's ridiculous. It's I don't understand how you could be in here watching and not be subscribed to Doug. But if you're not, go to DouglieDoWrong. The link's in the chat. Make sure you're heading over there. I always try to share videos. I always try to, if you're following me on Twitter, you could probably catch Doug's shows on there. I try to share everybody. It's about the Dolphins community, as Doug knows, and everything. Weapons, Doug, what are you thinking, bud? Like, and not, don't get bogged down with money. Like, maybe something else. Maybe somebody's got something we want. Maybe something else can be worked out here.
I like Color going after Amari Cooper. I'm very interested in bringing somebody in to help Waddle out, because right now, and you saw it all of last season, their game plan was to take Waddle out of the picture, because outside of him, you consistently saw them taking Gesicki off the field, and then you had Devontae Parker banged up. You had Albert Wilson running the opposite ways. It's like, besides Waddle, he really didn't have anyone to rely on. So I'm looking to get another big guy out there. We don't need another Waddle. I'd like to bring Jarvis back, but it's like, does he want to come back?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at like that big body guy. Now, Mike Williams, maybe, I don't know. He's not that high on my list of wide receivers.
And I like Godwin too. Like, he's great, but he's not the
he gets banged up a lot.
He does.
And I'm trying to avoid that. Like,
this very, very physical offense we're going to be running here. Guys are going to have to get their hands and drive upfield.
Yeah, I get the text, I get the tweets, I get all these messages about, Saquon Barkley, why don't we make a trade? Or CMC, why don't we make a trade? And I'm just like,
nope.
No, I'm tired of going after guys who have injury history, because then that's all we're dealing with. Oh, we just traded a first round pick to the Panthers for CMC. Up, he's injured.
So I have for my pick, and I'll go ahead and interject. I think we should trade for somebody, and I say go get Alvin Kamara. And I seen somebody in the chat, I think it was Aqua. If we're gonna trade for someone else and get Alvin Kamara. I know he just put a lot of yards, but that's the kind of or Dalvin Cook. And I know Dalvin Cook's been injured and stuff like that, but if we're gonna go poach someone from somebody else's team, the running back is a super big part of this, because you get that offensive line upfield, or in that trickery. If you got a workhorse and you can keep that personnel on the field and get them to bite on that, that's when you have Waddle take a sweep to the house, because they're biting inside. The sweep goes out. It's a little shovel pass or something at a time. It really makes it work. Running back is high up on my list next to offensive line.
And then if his, because Kamara has that legal issue he's dealing with right now, that could drop the asking price way down.
That's what I was thinking about it.
He might get suspended.
That's what I'm saying. And they want to unload the contract. You could probably get it for almost nothing.
Do you know how much cap? Let me pull it up.
They're like over 70 or something. It's a lot. It's like, holy cow, how'd they do that? That's how you can tell the cap can be manipulated.
Oh my God. It's ridiculous. Absolutely. They are negative $76 million.
Oh my God. It's even more. I thought it was only like 68, 70. No, it's like, I think they keep finding more money that they owe, because I swear it went up.
But
oh my God, man.
The Packers are negative 40. I know they offsetted, I think it was about 15 million and made it a signing bonus for one of their players. They're trying their best to keep Rodgers and Adams, but you're 40 million in the hole.
Dude, it's even if you do keep them, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna protect it? Like, Rodgers can have another MVP season, and it's just not enough. I think that's what a lot of Tua fans and Dolphin fans like. We want a real team, Hopefully, Tua seems like the kind of guy that's not gonna say, give me 65 million a year because I can get it. Not, he kind of seems like the guy that would build the team if you build around him. Another name I hear thrown around a lot is Calvin Ridley. Us trading for Calvin Ridley.
People are worried about the fact that he left for mental health issues. People say that he quit on the team. Me, as somebody who has mental health issues, he didn't quit on the team. It's more important to take care of yourself mentally. Like, my wife's a nurse, and she has traveling nurses that work with her that they'll pay him to do 5 12-hour shifts, and they'll pay him a buttload of money. And I said to my wife, I'm like, this is dumb. You got to take care of yourself mentally first. Like, it's no joke. So, like, to say that Ridley gave up on the Falcons, I just don't believe that. You got to take care of yourself first.
I don't like that narrative where, it's more important than the game or a living, because that ain't living. You know what I'm saying? And if someone's suffering in some way, and bro, it's to have enough stones to sit up and tell everyone that's 10,000 times what the problem is. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of the recovery that probably needed to take place. I think where people put the parallel is that, Alabama and all that stuff. Maybe it's an environment more conducive to them. So
look at what Brandon Marshall and Ricky Williams went through with their mental health, and no one talked to them about it and stuff. A lot of people like to call it foo-foo nowadays, because my dad, when I first started going through my anxiety, talked to my dad about it, and he said, yeah, I was going through the same thing, but he would talk to his father about it, and his father would be like, get the hell away from me. So,
yeah.
Like, it's a different world now. You got to really
hand you a bottle of whiskey and tell you to get.
Don't think about it. What's the problem? Just
drink this whiskey and stop crying about it, boy. You know what I'm saying? So, Doug, man, thanks again, brother. I'm gonna shut the show down. Everybody that came in, please, guys, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're liking, subscribing Doug's videos. Get at him in the comments. As I know for certain, Doug tries his best to interact with everybody as much as he can. Cut him some slack, though, guys. He's got 30,000 people. I've had people on Twitter be like, "God, Doug's kind of a jerk." I'm like, listen, first of all,
really?
You can't tell. Doug, I swear to God, bro. I swear. I had somebody go, "Oh, at least you get back at me, unlike Doug." And I'm like, first of all, bro, Doug's got a lot of people. He tries to get back to I know this. Like there's so and you can see even in your comments, you do everything you can to interact. I'm like, he just had a kid, bro. Like, give him some slack. So I'm out there defending your honor, Doug, just so you know, my man. So guys,
surprising to me.
Listen,
that guy.
Yeah, I was like, dude, are you serious? You're giving Doug a problem? He had. I'll tell you about him another time. You know? I'll tell you about him another
address.
Yeah. I think he lives up north too, so he might be a driving distance. Doug's
Bro, I got
6'5", Doug. Jesus, I didn't know you were. I knew you were tall. I didn't know you were 6'5".
I
Bro.
just ripped my shirt off.
Yeah, Macho Man's Randy Savage.
This is like the only merch I own of my own stuff.
Oh man, don't rip that shirt. Then don't rip that. Find some. I'm sure there's a jersey. Well, you can't rip a jersey.
I'll start ripping this up. I'll just start ripping this up.
Oh yeah, that needs to be definitely ripped up, set on fire, make some s'mores on it. Doug, again, thanks, brother. Anytime you're doing an open thing, I'll be sure to pop in. The hat is in the mail, so I sent you that thing. It should get there hopefully by the end of next week or something like that for the giveaway. Stoked somebody picked the hat, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad. It's a nice hat.
Yeah. Listen,
take it.
I gotta listen. I'm gonna be doing when I get over 1,000 subscribers. I'm gonna be doing a giveaway on a couple of these hats I got, and I'm also gonna find something nice on fanatics.com, which is in the link descriptive below, guys. Partners with Fanatics. I'm gonna find something really nice to give away, some Dolphin swag, something like that. So make sure maybe you can win some stuff, Doug. You know what I'm saying? Get some good stuff.
I'll come by for that. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Thank you for coming to the Fins Tailgate. DouglieDoWrong, as you guys can see with the cool spliced logo we got in the corner there. We did the crossover episode successful. Thanks, guys. God bless. Fins up.